This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group. Now let's take you live to the field and our play-by-play team.
Let's go do it. Let's go do it.
It's high school football on the Q92 Sports Network, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
Football, catch the fever.
Frogs here, along with Brian Beatty and Ryan Bevere, as we get set for a large Federal League matchup between the Jackson Polar Bears, 5-3, 3-1 in conference play, and the Canton McKinley Bulldogs at 6-2 and 5-0. The Bulldogs clinching at least a share of the Federal League title with a victory last week and would have it outright with a win here tonight. Series has been dominated by McKinley, with the Bulldogs taking the last 17 meetings by an average of nearly 17 points each. The overall series mark is 23-3. It's a beautiful night for football. The lights are on and the fans are filing in, and we're getting set for what we expect to be a very good game here tonight from Tom Benson Stadium. A lot of other games tonight. It's a Score 7 Friday, as always, here on Q92 and AM 1310 WDPN. And in just a few moments, you're going to be hearing about all of those games we're covering this week. And later on, we'll also hear from the head coaches of both of these teams, Antonio Hall of McKinley and Jay Rohr of Jackson. That's all coming up in a few minutes. And we'll send you back to the studio for all that right now as we get ready for the McKinley Bulldogs and the Jackson Polar Bears. Coming up here on Q92, you're listening to high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
Sarshone Auto Group is Ohio's fastest growing automotive group with 6 locations in Northeast Ohio, featuring top brands like Chevy, Ford, Ram, Jeep, Dodge, and more. Experience the fast, friendly, no-pressure approach to car buying that makes Sarshone truly different. Visit Sarshone today or see the selection of thousands of new and used vehicles at sarshone.com. Sarshone Auto Group, an official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
It's week 9 of Friday Night Lights, and after last night's Guardians victory over the Yankees, life is pretty good and can only get better as we are at Canton South High School as the Wildcats welcome in Tuslaw. Canton South enters play this evening with a 3-5 record, coming off of a 35-13 victory at Fairless. As of right now, they are the 11th seed in Region 15, and with a win, should guarantee themselves a spot in the postseason. The Mustangs, a 2-6 record, coming off of their 5th straight loss, this time a 34-28 loss at Orville in Week 8. With a loss tonight, they only have a 10% chance of making the playoffs, but with a win, their odds increase to 49%. Entering play tonight, they currently sit as the 20th seed in Region 21. Listen live at Q92radiosports.com, and we will have all the action from Canton South High School. For Q92 Sports, I am Nathan Smee.
Hey everyone, it's Mike Voorhees with Q92 Sports. Week 9 in Ohio high school football brings us to Mollenkoff Stadium at Warren Harding High School for this majestic matchup between the 6-2 Massillon Tigers and the 6-2 Warren Harding Raiders. Massillon leads the all-time series 60, 25, and 3, including a 48-14 win last season. The Tigers come into tonight with back-to-back wins and are winners of 4 of their last 5 games, led by senior running back Jameer Gamble, who rushed for 290 yards on 15 carries and had 5 TDs last week. The 290 yards are the 3rd highest single-game rushing total in Massillon Tigers school history. Not to be outdone, the Massillon Tigers defense has allowed just 6 points over the past 2 weeks. They forced 2 interceptions and recovered a fumble in last week's victory. Their availability of leading tackler Jaden Williams is in question after he left the game last week in the second quarter and did not return. This is a new-look Raider team from the one that Massillon played last season, led by first-year head coach Matt Richardson, the former Hoban offensive coordinator. Warren looks to keep the winning streak going. They have won 3 straight. They've defeated Solon, Boardman, and Cardinal Mooney and have allowed a combined 20 points during that span. The Raiders are led by 6'5", 230-pound dynamic dual threat senior quarterback and defensive end Chaz Coleman, who has Division I offers from Missouri, Florida State, Ole Miss, Illinois, Akron, Pitt, Penn State, and Michigan State, among others. This dual threat quarterback has thrown for 411 yards with 4 touchdown passes, and he's added another 500 on the ground with 5 rushing touchdowns. Tonight at 6-2 Massillon and 6-2 Warren Harding, you can hear all the action live on Q92radiosports.com. Join Ryan Keller and myself tonight. Pregame is at 6:30. Kickoff is at 7. For Q92 Sports, I'm Mike Voorhees.
RG Drag, Stark County's premier career center, offers programs that prepares its students at the high school level for careers and continued education beyond high school. Upon completion, RG Drag students have an immediate opportunity to obtain a well-paying job in many exciting career fields. We offer everything from culinary, dental assisting, engineering, sports turf and landscape, welding, and so much more. Contact RG Drag to find a program and career that's the perfect fit for you. RG Drag, where careers begin.
Welcome to Week 9 of the high school football season. In this Week 9 matchup, we will have a battle of Division II Region 5 foes and conference rivals as the 5-3, 2-2 in the Federal League North Canton Hoover Vikings play host to the also 5-3 but 1-3 in the Federal League Lake Blue Streaks. These teams are separated by one position in Division II Region 5, with the Vikings at 10 and the Blue Streaks at 11. Lake is coming in losing its last 2 games, and last week lost to McKinley 35-21, while Hoover is coming in with wins in 3 of its last 4 games and a win last week 27-10 over Perry. Both of these teams are very similar, with the run game being what drives the offense. However, for Lake, that is because their top 2 quarterbacks are injured, and Alex Kior, who has 549 yards with 3 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, as well as dual threat Ty DeGeorge, who has 650 total yards with 12 total touchdowns and 2 interceptions. The Blue Streaks will look to lean on Charlie Christopher with 517 rushing yards and 5 touchdowns, and Davis Matson with 381 yards and 3 touchdowns. When Lake has won, they are holding opponents to 8.4 points a game with 3 shutouts. For the Vikings, it's an offense with an almost non-existent passing attack. John Collins has played almost every game this year and is completing 51% of his passes for 392 yards with 3 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. But the run game is what drives the offense, led by A.J. Dolph with 902 yards and 6 touchdowns, while Christian Friel adds 359 yards and 7 touchdowns, and Collins adds another 291 yards and 3 touchdowns. As well, Hoover's defense gets very stingy in games they win, where they haven't allowed more than 16 points and average 9.2 points allowed in those wins. Who will get their 6th win of the year and have an over 500 season? Will it be the Vikings or the Blue Streaks? Only way to find out is by tuning into Q92radiosports.com. For Q92 Sports, I'm Ian Herman.
Coming to you live from Marlington High School, where tonight we host an EBC matchup between the Salem Quakers and the Marlington Dukes here on Q92radiosports.com. 2 teams with only 2 wins on the season are looking to end the 2024 campaign on a winning note. The Salem Quakers would love to get their 3rd victory of the season on the road tonight against Marlington. Last week, Salem took Carrollton to overtime and fell by a score of 35-34, which was a great game. The Quakers want to carry that momentum into tonight's game. They'll be led by their quarterback, junior Cletus Monroy, who's led the team all season, along with running back number 26, sophomore Brandon Canna, and running back Marcus Phillips. Monroy also loves to try to get the football to his wide receivers, Will Harmon and senior Joey Canna. And the Quakers are not yet eliminated from postseason action, as they sit in the 18th spot currently in Division IV Region 13. So a win is a must to keep those playoff hopes alive. For the Marlington Dukes, there'll be no playoffs in 2024, as they are mathematically eliminated from Division III Region 9. But they'd love to close the season on a winning note. Coming off their 2nd win of the season last week and a 48-0 win over Minerva, senior quarterback for Marlington, Bryson McCord, who's committed to Mount St. Joseph's College next year to play football, he'll lead a football squad that has been decimated by injuries to key positions all season long. Yet they've continued to fight. With Cavale Nicholson, the senior running back, who's rushed for 224 yards this year and 3 TDs since taking over for injured tailback Luke Stanley. And sophomore wide receiver Cameron Evanich, who's had a great sophomore year, pulling in 38 receptions, 649 yards, and 8 touchdown receptions. The Dukes looking for 2 consecutive victories and a win in their home finale, and Salem fighting to keep their playoff hopes alive. There's a lot on the line tonight, and we can't wait to bring it to you here on Q92Radiosports.com. Pregame 6:30, kickoff at 7. From Marlington, I'm Christian Bigglesworth for Q92 Sports.
Finding the right space to open or relocate your business can mean the difference between success and failure. The real estate professionals at Putman Properties will help find the perfect commercial property to suit your needs. Putman Properties specializes in office, retail, warehouse, manufacturing, investment, and multifamily residential real estate. Looking to sell your commercial real estate? Putman Properties marketing professionals will utilize local, regional, and national networks developed over 30 years to command the highest yield available. Contact Putman Properties at 330-498-4400 or visit them online at putmanproperties.com.
Good evening, everyone. This is Jay Wilhelm with Q92 Sports. I'm here live in green as the Green Bulldogs play host to the Perry Panthers in this Week 9 Federal League showdown. The Panthers come into town with a record of 3-5, 1-3 in conference play. After a promising 3-1 start to the season, Perry has now dropped 4 straight after falling at home to the Hoover Vikings last week by a final of 27-10. They'll try to get back on track, but will have to do so on the road this week. The Green Bulldogs come back home after defeating the Louisville Leopards on the road last week, 28-0. Their defense has thrown back-to-back shutouts on their back-to-back road games. The Bulldogs come in having won 2 of their last 3 and sit in second place in the Federal League. Green has a record of 6-2 and 4-1 in conference play. They'll look to stay hot as we get ready for playoff football and the seeding that comes along with it. Week 9 is already upon us, and this Federal League battle should be a good one. Join me tonight on Q92Radiosports.com as the pregame show starts at 6:30 p.m. with kickoff scheduled for 7. Live from Green, I'm Jay Wilhelm, Q92 Sports.
West Branch, they're about as good as they come this year in the Stark County and surrounding areas. 8-0 on the year. They've scored 48 points or more in 6 of their 8 wins. They have a dominant defense, giving up a little under 7 points per game, and they simply have just been outstanding all year. West Branch led offensively by Jeremiah Thomas, their junior quarterback. He's accounted for 36 touchdowns, over 1,500 yards through the air, almost 800 rushing on the ground. He is a special talent in the backfield, and he has a great mate back there in Boston Mullenix, the senior running back who's been playing since his freshman year. This year on his way to 1,000 yards. Again, 817 with 11 touchdowns, not to mention to the 2 outstanding seniors at wide receiver, Anthony Perry and Joey Jackson. Combined between the 2 of them, almost 1,200 yards receiving and 21 touchdowns, Jackson being the leader with 29 receptions this year. Defensively for West Branch, it's a team approach. They just get the job done under 7 points per game they're allowing. They're only giving up 182 total yards per game, and they have a plus 10 in the turnover margin. As for Carrollton, well, defensively, it's been the work of Josh Reel up front, the senior, the defensive lineman. He has help from Dylan Naylor on the defensive side of the ball as well, with 9 tackles for loss. Those 2 and Landon James combined for a total of 28 tackles for loss. 3 of them are pretty dominant on the defensive front for Coach Storm Hill. Offensively, Jacob Whitmore going to have to get it done tonight at quarterback. West Branch has won 13 straight versus Carrollton. Carrollton is just 9-36 all time in this series. And if they're going to get a win tonight, Whitmore, the senior quarterback, going to need a big night. Enters the game almost 1,000 yards passing and almost 400 yards rushing. He will be the bell cow if Carrollton wins tonight. It's Carrollton playing host to West Branch tonight. We'll have it for you on AM 1310 WDPN. For Q92 Sports, I'm John Bozica.
Get into SARTA and get SARTA Smart. Not sorta smart, SARTA Smart. Did you know we have 32 fixed routes? Just think of all the places that'll take you. So many of your SARTA destinations to shop, eat, entertain, have fun, learn, and earn. Catch any of them at our 4 transit centers. You'll find them in Alliance, Belden Village, Canton, and Massillon. That's how you get into SARTA and get SARTA smart. Visit sartaonline.com/smart.
Back here on Q92 with the head coach of the Jackson Polar Bears, Jay Rohr, and his team comes into a big Federal League matchup this week against the Canton McKinley Bulldogs. And Coach, before we get to that one, we'll talk about the game last week against Glen Oak and a workmanlike performance for your team, or how would you describe it?
Yeah, that's probably a good way to put it, a workmanlike performance. I have to always give credit where credit's due. Obviously, Coach Garcia, I know they're having a down season, probably it's certainly in their eyes. But, you know, again, he's a coach that's been doing it for a long time, and I got a lot of respect for him. And we knew that those guys were going to still come in and play hard for 48 minutes. You know, our guys, I'm not going to downplay it. I don't think we overlooked them. I don't think we thought we were just going to walk in and just beat them. We had a great week of practice and preparation. I just think that they did some things on both sides of the ball that affected us a little bit, and then we really hurt ourselves. I mean, we had a ton of drop passes, which again got us off the field on third downs that would have normally and typically would sustain drives and hopefully points. And like you said, in the second half, we really locked in and did some great things, and again, you know, came out with a victory against those guys.
You're closing in on the end of the season and have a lot of things still to accomplish. One of those is a possible share of the Federal League title with a win this week. Is there any talk about those kinds of things, or are you just keeping your head down?
No, I think that's just it. We keep our head down. You know, I've been asked that a lot, and the reality is this: our kids know what's at stake. I don't, as I've said before, I don't do the social medias. I don't. I try not to listen to the outside noise, so our kids probably hear it more than anybody else. But they know what's on the line this Friday, and certainly towards the end of the season. And I think they're excited for the opportunity.
A team in McKinley that's coming in hot, much like yours is. And when you see them on film, what do you see that McKinley does that's extra special?
Just the balance that they bring. Again, you talk about a well-coached team that you know does a great job over there with Coach Hall. They're balanced offensively. They got two-headed monster in the backfield with Johnson and Nino Hill. Their quarterback's got a tremendous arm and can sustain drives with his legs. And then you got a receiving core with their leader Quincy, but really every one of those guys can make an explosive play on any down. And then you look how they are defensively. They get in and out of a 3- and 4-man front. They're physical and they run to the ball. So they're just again a well-balanced team that's physical, that wants to get after you, wants to create explosive plays, and obviously you can tell that they're having success doing it with the way that their season's going.
They get a lot of what they get out of explosive plays, long passes and runs, kick returns, things like that. Can you concentrate on taking those things away, or do you have to just play it as it comes?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I think you really do have to play it as it comes because again, when I say that they're so balanced, you just never know, how they're going to try to approach it. Our thing is still we got to be a disciplined football team on both sides, really in all three phases of the game. And from a defense perspective, with how explosive they are offensively, we got to stay disciplined. We got to run the football and we got to tackle, and not just one guy. We got to gang tackle. We believe if we do those things, we're going to give ourselves a chance, and that's what we got to continue to do.
Despite all the success that Jackson has had over the years, you talk about your kids knowing what the deal is. The record hasn't been very good against McKinley over the past few years. Is that anything you talk about?
That just goes back to what you alluded to earlier. Our kids definitely know. I don't think it has to be said. I don't think it has to be mentioned. And I don't do that, just because of what the record is. This is a different group that I'm blessed to have the opportunity to coach. That again, just like myself, these guys don't like to lose. We've gone against some good opponents in the past. we've overcome a lot. Again, you're talking about, a defense that really returns a lot, an offense, bringing Coach Bartowell in, we were learning a new offense. We're really starting to gel on the offensive side. To be honest, these guys know what's at stake and are really excited to go to Tom Benson and to play a great game, a physical game for 48 minutes.
That's Jay Rohr, the head coach of the Jackson Polar Bears. His team takes on Canton McKinley this week. And Coach, good luck, and thanks for your time.
Clint, appreciate you. Thanks so much.
Ladies, are you ready to refresh your wardrobe and home? Discover Bird's Nest Boutique and Decor, your local treasure right here in the heart of Jackson Township. Step inside and explore the latest women's fashions, always on trend, fun, and affordable. The home decor selection at Bird's Nest Boutique features the best smelling candles in Stark County. Shop local, shop chic. Visit Bird's Nest Boutique and Decor today, where fashion meets home. Located in the Bueller's Plaza. Your style, your home, your Bird's Nest.
Here on Q92 with the head coach of the Canton McKinley Bulldogs, Antonio Hall, and his team is getting set for a battle against the Jackson Polar Bears. Chance at a Federal League title outright with a win this evening. But first, before we get into that game, let's talk a little bit about the Lake game last week. And I thought that was an especially physical game on both sides of the ball. Did you see it that way?
Definitely. Coach George does a great job with his program, with their all-season program. Those guys live in a weight room. They're always a physical bunch, always a tough bunch, especially up front. And so it definitely was true to fashion, how it always is when McKinley meets Lake.
When you have a game like that, does it take an extra day or so during the week to really get back into preparing for the next game and not feeling the last one?
Yeah, I think so. Especially this time of year, week 8, and you have a really physical football game. You definitely want to give your body as much opportunity to recover as possible. And so Monday was lighter than normal in terms of, physicality. It was more of like a walkthrough, run through, just assignment check. And then yesterday we kind of picked it up a little bit.
One thing that we saw briefly in the Hoover game and briefly last week was having both of your running backs on the field at the same time. How much do you want to use that? Is that something that's just for special occasions? What do you think you get out of that?
Well, in the Reed game, I think it opens up some things for us, whether we try to option off of our read or whether we try to, run a swing pass or get our other running back in the flat or even use him as a lead blocker. And so it just allows us to be kind of versatile with what we're trying to do and what defender we're trying to put in conflict. And so I think our offensive coordinator, he does a good job week in, week out, trying to scheme and figure out, what the best usage is with that package and based on the defense and their rules and what the defense is trying to accomplish.
Well, you and I have talked a couple of times this year, but we haven't really talked specifically about Cam Montgomery and his growth from the beginning of the season and how he looks right now to be very confident and sure of himself out on the field and very much a leader. Is that what you see?
Definitely. Cam has had a great progression. He's worked extremely hard in the film room, extremely hard with his mechanics. When he came to us, we saw that he was a great talent, but really wasn't developed how you would expect, a guy of his caliber going into a senior year. But he's worked really hard at his footwork. He's worked really hard at reading progressions. And like I said, spends a lot of time in the film room with our offensive coordinator. And so he's just a hard worker, a tremendously bright kid, very charismatic and a natural leader. And you're starting to see all of that kind of come together in gel as we move through the season.
All right, Jackson this week, and you know them very well. They're a very balanced team offensively and have some big, tough guys on defense. How do you handle the Jackson Polar Bears this week?
Yeah, they're very impressive. I think Jay Rohr is doing a great job growing the program. The staff that he's kind of putting together, the identity that his team is starting to form. Defensively, they have some big athletic, physical guys, especially in the box. I think their offensive line is tremendously better than what they were last year. They made a lot of gains. And, skill position, they got guys lights out there at wide receiver. And so, we just have to make sure that we're focused on Friday night and not already kind of feeling ourselves because we have a piece of the Federal League. We're looking ahead to next week or at senior night. And there's a lot of distractions that we have to get through this week and just play between the lines on Friday night.
All right, that's Antonio Hall. He's the head coach of the Canton McKinley Bulldogs. They take on Jackson this week. And, Coach, thanks always for your time and good luck.
Thank you, sir.
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
Back at Tom Benson Stadium here on Q92 as we get set for Canton McKinley and Jackson. The McKinley Marching Band just finishing up their rendition of the incomparable Script, Ohio. And we are just a few minutes away from action. The McKinley team has taken the field, and the Jackson team now walking en masse through the end zone to our right. Bulldogs down along their bench. And now here come the Polar Bears. McKinley will be in the all black tonight. White numbers and letters, red and white stripes, black helmets with the red and white stripes across the top. Jackson will be in the visiting white jerseys with purple numbers. They'll be in the gold pants, purple and white stripes down the side, and the traditional Jackson gold helmets with the Polar Bear logo on either side. Jackson coming in tonight 5-3, 3-1 in the Federal League. They beat Glen Oak last week 21-7. And McKinley 6-2, 5-0. They handled Lake last week by a score of 35-21. And that 21 is the most points McKinley's allowed in a game this year. They've done it 3 times overall. Polar Bears averaging 13.5 points allowed in their last 6 games. They're 7th in the Division I, Region I computer standings. McKinley is 2nd in Region I, and so assured of a home game in the opener of the playoffs that start 2 weeks from tonight. And now we're going to send it down to the field for our national anthem.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light, o'er the ramparts we watch, were so gallantly streaming, whose brushstrokes and bright songs through the clamorous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets wake up, the bombs burn, singing out, came through the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the lands of the free and the home of the
Our national anthem, and we are very close to kickoff time here at Tom Benson Stadium. Jackson won the toss, and they've deferred to the second half. And Brian Beatty, this could be a really fun matchup tonight. You said you think probably the two best quarterbacks in the Federal League on the field here this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we have a lot of talent, led by two quarterbacks that are playing really well throughout the season. Eckerman is coming back from that injury. He seems like he's a little bit more comfortable out there. And then Cam, we saw him last week. He's everything in as a quarterback at the package. So a lot of talent on both sides of the field, a lot of skill players. They, not one big leading stat leader, but they spread the ball out. So, yeah, I'm looking for a great game tonight.
Well, Jackson will kick off, as we say. Cooper Miser, the junior, will do the honors. And back for McKinley, Darius Hill and Brian Ingram will be the deep men, standing back around the 10-yard line. Jackson will be kicking off toward the west, away from the highway. And we'll see if we get lined up to kick this one away. Somebody lost their balloon. It's floating right up in front of us right now. Senior night here at McKinley, and also Football Hall of Fame night here at McKinley. And the Bulldogs trying to hold serve in the Federal League and go through an entire season without losing. Jackson, something to say about that. Here's a kickoff coming down to Darius Hill on the 10. Oh, that's Ingram up the far side, and he's going to be ripped down at the 19-yard line. Good coverage by Jackson. And it will be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. They'll spot it on the 18-yard line.
You got another great job by Jackson Special Teams. We've had them a few times this year, and I know I've made the comment every time. Their special teams are special. They're very disciplined.
Cam Montgomery, the senior quarterback, completing 66% of his passes, 12 TDs, 4 interceptions, and they'll start with Nino Hill at running back. And now also Jamar Johnson will come out. So they have both out there on this first play from scrimmage. Man comes in motion to the near side. Montgomery turns to fake to somebody, and there's no one there, and he's going to be tackled back on the 15-yard line. So a missed assignment on the first play. Somebody went the wrong way. And the loss will be back to just outside the 15. So that's a 3-yard loss on the first play of the game.
Yeah, they went with the motion, and the near side back here should have ran the dive play, and he went with the motion also. Just miscommunication.
So it'll be Hill and Keith Quincy out to the far left side. Near side is DJ Britt as a receiver. Again, two backs. And what? Offside on the defense. So that will take back the lost yardage on the first play, plus a couple more. And that'll move it out to the 20. So it'll be 2nd and 8 now, and we haven't really had a successful play. Montgomery in the pistol. He has Hill to his left and Johnson to his right. And it's a handoff over the left side, and it's going to be Johnson, and he's not going to get anywhere. In fact, it's going to be stopped just behind the line of scrimmage as the Polar Bears get into the backfield. Tackle on that play by Jordan Warmuth, senior linebacker. And so the Bulldogs losing yardage on both of their offensive plays so far. Will send 2 out to the left, 2 to the near side. Montgomery in the pistol has Hill to his left. Quick throw near side. It's caught in the right flat, and an immediate tackle. Xavier Harris is brought down on the 23-yard line. Brought down by Jackson's Christian Satterfield. And so that'll be a 4th down for McKinley, 4th and 5 on their 23-yard line. So a halting start offensively for McKinley, and Quincy will be in to punt it away. Quincy averaging 38 yards a kick this season. Orlando standing at his 45, awaiting the kick. It's a high end-over-end kick taken at the 40. Comes to the near sideline around one man. It goes for the out-of-bounds marker and is in McKinley territory, where he goes out of bounds on about the 48-yard line. So 33 on the punt and about 7 on the return. And Jackson takes over 1st and 10 in McKinley territory, just what Jay Rohr wanted when he deferred. Get the offense in there in great field position. They have Tegan Essig at center, Evan Mauser and Robbie Eberhardt at the guards, Brennan Ertl and Evan Beard at the tackles. And on 1st down, they come with a tight end to the left, 2 receivers left, and they'll run it with Satterfield trying to turn left end, and he's got nice yardage, picking up about 5 yards on the play. Running to his offensive left. Satterfield on the season has run for 757 yards coming in tonight, 5 touchdowns, averaging just over 5 yards a carry. They'll set it out to the right side with 3 receivers, 2 to the near side. Lucas Eckerman is by himself in the backfield. Straightens up, throws near side. Satterfield has it, breaks a tackle. He's inside the 20, down the sideline, and he's down inside the 5. Satterfield down inside the 5-yard line. 1st and goal for Jackson as they are in the RG Drag red zone, down on the 3. So the Bulldogs sluggish coming out, and Jackson taking advantage as they have a 1st and goal on the 3. Eckerman hands to Satterfield up the middle, and he's in for the touchdown.
Yeah, Jackson made that drive look easy there. A nice variety of plays, and usually when you come into your first drive, you got some scripted plays. You see some vulnerability on the defense, and it looks like they found that and took advantage of it.
So an extra point attempt coming for Cooper Miser. And he sends the extra point up, and it is good. He's 23 of 23 on the season. So just like that, with 8:59 to go in the first quarter, our score, Jackson 7, McKinley nothing. You're listening to high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
Quality meals and Midwestern hospitality. That's what the Ohio Grill is known for. Owners Tyler Barrett and Mitchell Gallagher believe in simple food done right. Head to 715 Canton Road in Carrollton, Ohio for mouth-watering burgers, salads, and fresh-cut French fries. Daily specials at theohiogrill.com. Open Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Call 330-476-6312. The Ohio Grill, where food and hometown pride unite. Satisfaction guaranteed.
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
McKinley 3 and out on their first possession. Jackson taking the punt and taking over at the McKinley 48. And it took them a very short time to get in the end zone. Just 3 plays. And they score on the run by Satterfield, which is his 6th touchdown of the season. On the Sardis scoreboard, Massillon up on Harding 7-0. Salem up over Marlington 7-0. And West Branch with a 7-0 lead in their game. And we have a timeout. Jackson called timeout. So I don't know if they didn't have enough on the field or if they were thinking about trying something and it was looking like it wasn't going to work.
Yeah, that's an odd time out there. They're talking to the kicker. I'm not sure if the placement, but the ball blew off the tee, and that's what kind of stopped them the first time. I don't think McKinley was used to someone catching a punt and taking care of the opportunity there. Didn't see many of those last week.
Happy to report on the Life Care Family Health and Dental Care Injury Report. Nothing to report to both coaches this week, and they both said they were about as healthy as they could be coming into the final week, or the next to last week, that is, of the regular season. So here's Miser. They move the ball to the other side of the field here to kick it off. So near the far hash mark. And the kick in the air. And sending the man back deep. That's Ingram. 15-20. And that will do it. 20-yard line, again, is where the Bulldogs will start, 1st and 10. Cameron Jamerson. Braden Early. Antonio Krieger, Jemaurice Owens, and Gabe Hinkle on the offensive line for the Bulldogs. They'll send Quincy out to the left. 2 coming to the near side. Bulldogs down 7-0 in the first 3 minutes. Montgomery takes the snap, gives the ball up the middle to Johnson, and he has a nice hole to run through and takes it across the 25 to the 27-yard line. So a 7-yard pickup for Jamar Johnson, who came in with 421 yards on the season, averaging 5.1 a carry. Nino Hill at 643, and they go quickly. Pitch it out wide left to Hill with a flag down, and Hill tackled in space, a yard short of the first down. Nice tackle by Van Reardon. And we're going to have a hold here against McKinley. So the Bulldogs continue to struggle here in the opening moments.
Holding. Offense. Number 55. 10-yard penalty. Repeat. 2nd down.
Yeah, they just keep shooting themselves in the foot here early. They need to get focused up here. I know, senior night and a lot going on, and you need to focus in and get on track here.
Last time Jackson beat McKinley was 2007. 14-7 was the score in that game. And another penalty. Jackson came up with a man up to the line of scrimmage. Thought maybe he went across the line, but McKinley called for a false start. I think they'd like to go back in the locker room and call for a new start to this game, because they've looked dreadful here in the first almost 4 minutes. Their offense has been, other than one play, either going backward or getting a penalty, and here another penalty. 2nd down and 18.
Yeah, absolutely. They just need to stay focused and, like you said, one positive play. That just doesn't work there. And there actually was illegal procedure there.
Sent a man in motion left. Now another one in motion right. Here's Montgomery back in the pocket. Going to throw it deep far side. Ball in the air, and it's caught by Hill at the 50-yard line. Great catch over the shoulder by Nino Hill. And that got the Bulldogs out of jail. They're on the 48 of the Polar Bears. That is 40 yards on the play.
And that's what McKinley does to you. The big plays over and over. What a great adjustment by Nino Hill there. He was looking inside into the field. Ball came over his left shoulder, the outside shoulder. He made a great adjustment and brought it in. Great catch.
Only his 6th catch of the season. He had 5 for 8 yards before that one. So McKinley on the Jackson 48, trailing 7-0. 4.5 minutes in. Harris coming in motion near side. Fake the handoff. Throw to Britt with a blocker in front. Spins away from a tackle, takes it inside the 40, and goes to the Jackson 39-yard line. So that's a 9-yard pickup. No, don't move the chains yet over there. They were just about to, but it'll be 2nd and 1 for McKinley on the Jackson 39. Bulldogs trying to get on track. That big passing play kind of turned things around for them. Jackson making a change on defense. At the last moment is McKinley up with a 2nd and 1. It's Hill up the middle with a hole to the 35, to the 30, and dragging tacklers to the 27-yard line for a first down. That's a pickup of 12. And it'll be 1st and 10 McKinley. They sent 3 out to the left side, all spread out. Britt to the near side right. Hill to the left of Montgomery in the pistol. Handoff. Hill, nothing up the middle, tries to get to the outside. Hit, goes down at the 31-yard line. Jordan Warmoth with the penetration for the Polar Bears, along with Nolan Foster and Alston Ellis to clean it up. And that'll be a loss of almost 3 yards on the play.
Yeah, Nino didn't have anywhere to go with the ball there. Great penetration on the left side here by Jackson.
On the starter scoreboard, Massillon 10, Harding nothing. And Salem 10, Marlington nothing. Here's Montgomery back, under pressure, big pressure, and he's going to go down back outside the 40-yard line. 2 Polar Bears combining. It's Nolan Foster and Jordan Warmoth again. Warmoth, the senior, all over the place here in the early going. And McKinley, who had it 1st and 10 on the 27, will now have it 3rd down and 24 back on the 41.
Yeah, Jackson has 20 sacks on the season. It'll be 21 for him. They do get, we've seen them a few times. They do like bringing the pressure on the quarterbacks. And that was obvious there.
Warmoth leads the team in tackles. Zach Saleh leads them with tackles for loss, and Mitch Brucker leads in sacks. So they have a very good linebacking crew. Here's Montgomery back, flushed out, rolling near side, flag down, and Montgomery tackled out of bounds inside the 40 at about the 38-yard line. That was a tackle by Mitch Brucker. And the flag came from behind the defense. Likely a hold.
Yeah, Jackson had great penetration there. They were the low man. All 3 of the down front guys beat their offensive linemen and got upfield, and one of them, I think, held on a little too long.
The line of scrimmage after the play will be the 37. It would be 4th and 20.
Holding offense. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
Yeah, 4th and 20 on the Jackson 37. So McKinley will send the punt team out, it looks like. Keith Quincy to punt it. Noah Calando standing back in his 10-yard line. Good snap. And it's a low bouncer, and it hits somebody on the near side of the field and goes out of bounds at the 29-yard line. I'm not sure what happened there with the kick by Quincy. But it was no more than about 5 or 10 feet off the ground. It didn't go very far, and it hit 2 of the people running down the field. Didn't know if it was the Jackson player or the McKinley player it hit. Jackson player fell on the ball on the 29-yard line, so that's where they'll take over on a very short punt by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, the last 2 punts, number 13, that Van Reardon, has had a lot of pressure, and he was close again on that last one. So it's coming off the left edge and forcing a quick kick.
1st and 10, Jackson on their 29. They lead 7-0, 4:37 to go in the first period. Handoff to Satterfield, running left, has a seam, and he runs across the 30 to the 32. We saw Lake put up some good rushing totals against McKinley last week. And Jackson off to a good start here. They pick up 4 on first down. Lucas Eckerman, the junior quarterback. And Satterfield to his left, 2 receivers near side, 1 out to the right. And it's a fake and a throw to the near side, and it's going to be ruled a catch on the 37. Catch by Nathan Kuntz of Jackson. And it's his 11th catch, or his 20th catch of the season. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 2 at the 37-yard line. And McKinley jumps offside.
A hard count by Ackerman there and drew the left side of the defense of McKinley offsides.
Green and Perry are at the end of the first quarter already. It's 7. What time is it? 7:20. Okay. No score, by the way, in that game. Wouldn't be much time to score in that shorter time period. So after the penalty, another one against the Bulldogs. Jackson at their 42 with a 1st and 10. Eckerman hands off to Satterfield, hitting the backfield, bounces off, turns it upfield, and gets a yard or two. First man to make a hit for McKinley was Cyrus Hill. They're going to stop him after a 1-yard pickup at the 43.
Yeah, Satterfield 5'8", 165, but he runs a lot stronger than that.
You would never guess that to see him. Empty backfield this time for Eckerman. Trips near side, 2 out to the right. 4 down lineman for the Bulldogs. Back to throw. Fires near side, caught and drops. Right in and out of the hands of Nathan Kuntz. Might have heard footsteps. Jordan McElroy was coming up to make the hit. And the pass just bouncing off his hands to the turf. It'll be 3rd down and 9 here for Jackson. On their 43, they lead 7-0.
Nice throw by Eckerman there, but just kept his eyes off it. That's a long throw, and it gives the defense a lot of time to react back up, and he might have heard a few footsteps.
It's time 2 to the near side, 1 to the right, and a handoff. Misdirection to Satterfield, and he's going to be thrown down in the middle of the field by Trick Daniels. And he's on the 47, so that'll be 4th down and 5 as they rolled out to the left, handed it back to the right. Well, the Bulldogs were ready for it, and the punt team on. Cooper Miser, the punter, he averages 36 per kick. And he hits a low spinner. It's going to bounce around the 20. And a McKinley player pushes a Jackson player into the ball. And the ball will roll dead at the 15-yard line. So again, McKinley will start in tough field position. They'll put it on the 16 with 2:40 to go in the first quarter. 7-0 our score. Bulldogs come out right to the line of scrimmage. Nino Hill will be the running back. Quincy will go out to the left. They'll have trips to the near side, the short side of the field. On 1st down, Montgomery swings it near side and a catch. But Harris is dropped for a loss back to the 14-yard line. Coming up on the play is Van Reerden for another tackle.
Yeah, quick bubble pass there. Usually the wide receivers, they'll talk to each other and who to pick up there, and it looked like it was a miscommunication of which one was going to take who. Sometimes you take the guy over you. Sometimes you slide off and take the guy over your teammate.
2nd down and 12. Montgomery back to throw with time, slings it near side, caught, and out to the 25-yard line. For McKinley goes Darius Hill. So he's going to be about a yard short of the 1st down. Again, they started to move the chains on the far side, but it's not a 1st down. It'll be 3rd and 1 on the 25-yard line. Hill with his 22nd catch of the season. On the Sardis scoreboard, Hoover 3, Lake nothing. Lake Catholic 7, Central Catholic nothing. Manchester up on Fairless 7-0. Alliance leads Minerva 7-0. South range up on Louisville, 14-7. Here is a give up the middle on short yardage, and they don't get it. Hill is hit and dropped for a loss, and we have a flag after the play. One of the Jackson players is without his helmet. That's Evan Mauser. Somebody else had his helmet. I'm not sure what the call will be if it is a penalty. The referee threw the flag from behind the play well after it was over.
There's no flag on the play.
No flag on the play. So it'll be 4th down for McKinley. 4th and 2 as they lose a yard on that 3rd and 1 play. And Quincy back out to punt it away again. Takes the snap. Here comes the rush. The kick is away. Another wobbler. Calando takes it on his 45. And again, Jackson will have great field position on the McKinley 45. And then a McKinley player threw down the Jackson player, Zion Covington. Everybody in the building saw that one. And Antonio Hall has to be thinking, what in the world is going on? That's going to be 15 more here for Jackson.
After the question turn, dead ball, personal foul. 15-yard penalty.
So that'll move the ball down to inside the 30, I believe. Jackson up 7-0. And they'll start this possession on the 29-yard line. On 1st and 10. Bulldogs are offside.
That's the second time Ackerman got him on that hard count.
Defense, number 45. Flag penalty, first down.
Now this is a team that's second in their region, 6-2, 5-0, and they look like they have. Looks like the first day of practice. Is what it looks like. Here's a handoff, and to the 22-yard line goes Foster Stanley, and we saw do some good running a couple of weeks ago. Had a touchdown last week.
Yeah, it gives Jackson another look there and gives him a little breather in the backfield and some fresh legs. It's always nice to have two backs that can stay fresh.
McKinley with 5 penalties for 40 yards in the first quarter. Eckerman to throw near side. Calando has it along the sideline, tiptoeing inside the 15 to the 13-yard line. But he has a Jackson first down as they pick up 9. Calando, the leading receiver for the Polar Bears, 28 catches now on the season. 6 touchdowns, and Jackson in the RG Drake red zone on the 13 with a 1st and 10. It's Stanley running right, runs through a tackle inside the 10 and cut down on the 9-yard line. Lance Long coming up for the stop.
Yeah, Ackerman on that last pass really stood in the pocket, took a nice hit from McKinley, but delivered the ball on time. Been very impressive so far this game, throwing the ball.
Green up on Perry, 7-0 on the Sarda scoreboard. Here it's 7-0 Jackson with a half minute to go in the first quarter, and the Polar Bears threatening again from the 9-yard line. Back to throw Eckerman, going to loft it to the near side, ball to the corner and off the hands of Calando in the back corner of the end zone. McElroy stopped thinking he might be able to make a play on the ball, but he misjudged it and it was over his head, and Calando had a shot at it in the back corner of the end zone. Couldn't pull it in. 3rd and 6 on the 9-yard line.
Really impressed with his arm strength. That was another nice ball. You know, you got a little bit of air on it, but it still had a nice zip to it also.
Polar Bears look to the far side for the play. Still 15 on the play clock as they come to the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 6 on the 9. Handoff. Nope, flake. Rolling out. Eckerman throws, and it's caught down at the 1-yard line. First down and goal on the catch by Keegan Stanley, the junior. And the Polar Bears are a yard away with 10 seconds to go in the first period.
Yeah, nice play action there. Stanley rolled over top of it. I thought he had the ball also, and the nice little rollout, dump out in the flats. Nice tackle by the McKinley player coming up and hitting him, just denying him the touchdown.
Play went out of bounds, so the clock stopped with 10 seconds. And the Polar Bears are going to call a timeout. Jay Rohr runs all the way down to the 5-yard line to call the timeout. Apparently not happy with his team's formation. They still had plenty of time to get the play off. So we'll take a break with 10 seconds left in the first. 7-0 Jackson. You're listening to high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
Since 1962, DeHoff Realtors has been a cornerstone of the Jackson community. Proud supporters of the Jackson local schools. We're committed to helping our neighbors buy and sell homes with expertise and integrity. Visit us at DeHoff.com or call us at 330-499-8153. And let's champion your next move together. Go Polar Bears! DeHoff Realtors, your championship team in real estate dedicated to serving the Jackson community with pride.
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
We have 10 seconds to go in the first quarter from Tom Benson Stadium. Jackson leading McKinley 7-0, and they have it first and goal on the McKinley 1. They have two receivers right. They have a wing and a tight end to the right, all to the far side of the field. And Foster Stanley, the running back, he'll get the carry up the middle, and he's in for the touchdown.
Great drive there by Jackson, just a little bit of everything. And some nice plays, and finished off in a nice hard run.
Stanley with his 4th rushing touchdown of the season. And he gives Jackson a 13-0 lead. Miser for the extra point. Good snap and hold. Kick up and good. 7 seconds left in the first period. It is Jackson 14, McKinley 0. You're listening to high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
High school football exemplifies the true meaning of teamwork. At Friends and Family Credit Union, our team of local friendly professionals offer the same true spirit for our members. With a wide array of products from vehicle loans to personal loans, family secure checking with ID Protect, mortgage, home equity line of credit, and more. For over 60 years, we have the game plan for your financial well-being. Visit any of our 3 convenient locations, online or mobile banking. Now, more than ever, it's time to bring a friend into the family.
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
Jackson getting ready to kick off again, as they have taken a 2-touchdown lead here in the first quarter against a Canton McKinley team that was just not ready to play here this evening. See if they can change that over the next 3 quarters plus 7 seconds. Still a few ticks left on the first quarter clock. Everybody else has moved on. Send it down to Ryan Bevere as we get a chance early in the second quarter. As the kick goes to the far side of the field, and it's going to hit and go into the end zone. Brian Ingram lets it go, and the Bulldogs will start 1st and 10 on their 20, which might be their best starting field position so far in the first quarter.
Yeah, I do believe so.
It's the opening kickoff, 2 after the scores, also a punt. And I think all those possessions started inside the 20. 1st and 10, Bulldogs, on what could be the last play of the first quarter. Montgomery with one back, and he hands it to him, and he's hit immediately and dropped for a loss. Into the backfield was Zach Saleh. It looked like he knew what the play was. He was running up to the line of scrimmage as the ball was snapped and hit Johnson just as he got the ball. They're going to mark it back to the 18, and that's where McKinley will start the second quarter with a 2nd and 12. After 1, Jackson 14, McKinley nothing. You're listening to High School Football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
A scenic, challenging, and exceptional golf experience awaits you at Spring Valley Golf Course in East Sparta. Undulating fairways, high-quality greens, and a fun challenge await golfers of all skill levels. A tee time is just a phone call away. Don't miss out on a chance to play this hidden gem. You can reach the Spring Valley Clubhouse by calling 330-484-1886.
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
Jackson up 14-0 after the first quarter on the Sardis scoreboard. Lake and Hoover tied at 3. Salem 17, Marlington nothing. Massillon 10, Harding nothing. Tuslaw leading Canton South 21-14. Lake takes a 10-3 lead over Hoover. And here it's been all Jackson. McKinley losing yardage again on that first play, or that last play of the quarter. And here's Montgomery wanting to throw, looking in the middle. Spins out to the near side. In trouble, and he throws it away. Being chased by Nolan Foster. And it'll be 3rd and 12.
Yeah, Coach Hall, you can see at halftime or end of the quarter there, got his offensive lineman together, him being an offensive lineman himself, and I think made a little challenge to him. He was in their year, and they need to step up, give Cam some time to throw the ball, and, you know, that last play before the quarter, you know, just a misassignment up front.
Jackson 6 first downs to 2, 85-69 in total yards, but 40 of those yards for McKinley came on one play. As Montgomery is back, throws it out to the far side, and a nice catch on the far sideline at the 32-yard line by DJ Britt, and he's going to have a first down. He just went up and snagged that one. Well-thrown ball, and a good catch by Britt. Coverage by Nathan Kuntz, but that was well done. And McKinley converts. They come right to the line of scrimmage with 3 to the near side, 1 out to the right. Montgomery with Johnson to his left. Steps up, throws down the middle. It's caught by Britt again in the middle of the field, and he's down at the 48-yard line. So 16 more on the throw over the middle from Montgomery to Britt. And McKinley with 2 nice-looking plays. They'll spot it on the 49.
Yeah, Jackson brings some pressure, one-on-one coverage. And I tell you what, Jamar Johnson in the backfield has been on the last 2 great pickups, so Cam gets the opportunity to throw the ball.
He throws another one far side, and it's almost intercepted. Miscommunication as Britt was running the jet. And Montgomery threw it quickly, and it went right through the hands of a Jackson player. Did have some mustard on it, I will say. But that was nearly a disaster for the Bulldogs as quarterback and receiver were not on the same page. 2nd and 10. Britt again will go out to the far right side. Xavier Harris joins him over there. 2 to the near side left. Montgomery in the pistol. Johnson to his left. And Montgomery back. 4-man rush. And he's in trouble. And he's down.
Yeah, McKinley can't have that. It's just a 4-man rush. You know, they dropped back. They knew long. Bringing some zone coverage under and just didn't have any time. Great coverage by the defensive backfield for Jackson.
4 beats 5 there, and actually 6 with the back. They're back to the 44-yard line, and it'll be 3rd down and 15. 10:57 to go. Clock running in the second quarter. Jackson on top of McKinley, 14-0. Montgomery with one back again, 4 receivers, and they're coming again right up the middle. Montgomery steps up. Now he's going to be pressured and dropped. Back on the 35-yard line. He had time, but didn't get rid of the football, and eventually the rush got to him back on the 38. So they were at the 49 after 2 nice pass plays and then went backwards 3 times in a row. And it'll be 4th down and 21. And Quincy will punt it away once more. Montgomery 7 of 9 for 93 yards. Eckerman 4 of 6, 61 yards. And here's the punt. Calendo back to his 23. To the far side he goes. Cuts inside a block, and he's going to be bumped out of bounds up around the 38, 39-yard line. And let's send it down if we can. If Ryan is available to your impression of what you're seeing down there on that sideline.
Well, I mean, if you were new here and you didn't have any education, and you didn't know anything about this game, you would probably not think that McKinley has a chance to win the Federal League outright tonight. The body language is not there. The momentum is 0, and the confidence level just seems like it's not as high as Jackson. Jackson is fired up. Coach Rohr and the Polar Bears are ready to play tonight, Clint.
They lead 14-0, and they'll come out 1st and 10 on their 39. Eckerman in the pistol, wing right, 2 receivers right, 1 out to the far side left, and there'll be a fake. Eckerman will run, gets outside left end, and he's thrown out of bounds as he crosses the 40. So around the 41-yard line, tackled by Demir McClellan.
Not sure if that was a design quarterback run or if he just didn't get the handoff in. So you're taught that as a quarterback. If you don't make that handoff, follow the play where it's supposed to be. That's where they're blocking. So, nice adjustment by Eckerman to pick up a few yards and not a loss.
He runs the ball about 9 or 10 times a game, so could have been a design run. Picks up 2, and Eckerman again running. This time in the quarterback draw, takes a hit in the middle of the field and goes down at the 43, courtesy of Antonio Stevens. And it will be 3rd down and 6 here for Jackson from their 43-yard line. 9.5 minutes to go in the first half. Polar Bears on top of McKinley 14-0. They have controlled the action from the beginning. McKinley has shot themselves in the foot with penalties and just poor play here in the early going. Empty backfield. Eckerman back. Has time. Going to throw it deep. Down the far side. It's caught inside the 20 and down to the 15-yard line. It's Kuntz with the catch. They'll spot him on the 17. Tackled by Brian Ingram. Jackson in the RG Drake red zone once again on the 17-yard line.
Yeah, Eckerman got the ball. Had a little misstep, kind of slid. But Kuntz had his defender. It was a man-on-man coverage beat immediately, and great ball, great catch, and a big play.
Massillon now up on Harding 17-0. They're about the same point of the game as we are. Eckerman back again. Going to throw near side, and he airmails it over Noah Calando. Not close on that one. Coverage by McKinley's Jordan McElroy, and it'll be 2nd and 10 for Jackson on the McKinley 17. Also on the Sarda scoreboard, Perry and Green tied at 7. Manchester up on Fairless now 19-0. Alliance leads Minerva 14-0, and South Range over Louisville 14-13. Here is Satterfield trying to go around left end. He's hit pretty hard over there by Demir McClellan. And the gain will be to the 14-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard pickup. And Jackson will have a 3rd down and 7 on the McKinley 14. They lead 14-0 with 8:20 to go in the first half. One to the near side. That's Max Coles. 2 out to the left. Now they look to the far side for the play. Tight end is Keegan Stanley to the near side right. Satterfield to the left of his quarterback, gets the handoff, goes up the middle, and falls forward close to a first down. He's between the 8 and the 9. I think he's going to be a little bit short. He'll spot it just outside the 8-yard line. So he needs about 1.5 yards, and the Polar Bears right back to the line of scrimmage. Bulldogs get a new one in there on defense. Elijah Young on the defensive line. He gets set up as the Polar Bears again look to the far side for the play. 4th down and 1. Eckerman hands off, and he didn't make it. Satterfield stopped at the line of scrimmage and maybe a little bit behind the line of scrimmage, back around the 9-yard line. McKinley player slow to get up. He was the last one down there. That's Kevon McNeil. And he is still down on the field, sitting up. But we will have an injury timeout here with 7:11 to go in the first half. So the Bulldogs with an imperative stop there. Jackson just loaded up and said, "We're coming at you." And McKinley won that battle.
Yeah, they definitely did. The right tackle, I'm not sure who was there, really blew up the play immediately. You know, got up underneath the shoulder pads of the offensive lineman and drove him back, and there was nowhere for Satterfield to go on that.
McNeil up on his feet and coming off to the near side. So McKinley will take over again in the poor field position. This may be their worst, starting on their 9-yard line. With 7:11 left in the first half. First and 10. Nino Hill in the backfield right behind Montgomery. In the pistol. Trips near side, one out to the right. Again, Jackson showing pressure. They give it to Hill up the middle. Skips through to the 15, breaks a tackle. 20, far side, 30. Nino Hill down the sideline and finally run out of bounds near midfield. Another big play for the Bulldogs. Saving tackle for Jackson by Van Reardon. That is another 40-yard pickup to the 49-yard line.
Yeah, big plays for McKinley. You know, they've lived on these all year, and they ran the ball to the right away from the blitz and found a hole and got upfield quickly.
Jackson with 3 down linemen. As McKinley has 4 receivers on the field. Here is Hill running over the left side to the 50, to the 45, and thrown down at about the 43-yard line by Brocker. So that's a gain of 8 more. So 2 plays, and the Bulldogs from their own 9 to the Jackson 43. We have 6:45 to go in the first half. Jackson leading McKinley 14-0. Trips out to the right. Quincy, the only man, split to the near side. Jackson Baker, the only defender down here for the Polar Bears. And here is a give, and Hill slips and falls in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play, at least. Maybe 4. In any case, it goes from 2nd and short to now 3rd and medium. 3rd and about 5.5. So just when it looks like the Bulldogs have something going, they go backwards again. Now they'll see if they can pick up this 3rd down. Hill behind Montgomery. 3 out to the right, 1 to the near side. Handoff. Hill tries the left side, turns it up, and gets to the 42. I think he's going to be a little bit short of the 1st down. Warmouth with another stop for Jackson. It'll be 4th down and 1 for the Bulldogs. McKinley just stopped Jackson on a 4th and 1. On the other end of the field. Plenty of time in the play clock, but it looks like McKinley's going to take a timeout anyway on a 4th and 1 with 5:17 to go in the first half. 14-0 Jackson. You're listening to High School Football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
Ready to elevate your look? Step into Clover House Salon, where luxury meets style. Katie opened Clover House in 2023, bringing over 12 years of experience to Jackson Township. Katie and her team take pride in providing luxury services and staying up on trends so you can look and feel your best. Whether it's a fresh cut, vibrant color, or fresh gel manicure, Clover House has you covered. Looking for your next career move? Clover House offers booth rentals. Visit Clover House Salon and experience the difference. Follow them on social media for their latest transformations and to book your appointment.
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
McKinley with a 4th and 1 on the Jackson 42. 5:17 to go in the first half. And the Bulldogs trailing by 14 points. Again, trips right, one to the near side. Montgomery with Hill behind him. Hands it to him, comes left, lots of room. 40, out of bounds, around the 30-yard line. Left side of the offensive line just caved in the Jackson defensive line. And they pick up 12 yards on the 4th and 1. Hill goes out of bounds on the play. Remember, stay tuned at halftime for the Putman Properties halftime report. We'll have news and scores and highlights, computer point overview, and some first half stats. McKinley with a 1st and 10 on the 30. Again, it's Hill. Again, he comes left, runs through one man, runs through another, still going, still breaking tackles and out of bounds. Inside the 20. They'll spot him on the 17-yard line, and that's 13 yards for Nino Hill.
Yeah, McKinley just pulling the right tackle, and Nino's following that block, seeing if they crash inside, he's taking it out. If not, he's sneaking, but kept his feet going there. Great run.
McKinley in the RG Drag red zone on the 17-yard line with a 1st and 10. Massillon up on Harding now 24-0 at Warren. And Salem leads Marlington 31-0. McKinley down here 14-0. Here's Hill again. Starts inside, goes to the outside, runs to a tackle to the 10, to the 5, and down to the 2-yard line. Nino Hill, a man possessed on this possession.
Yeah, another strong run. I believe McKinley's probably ran the same play here the last 5 plays in a row. And you run it till they stop it.
And they have blocked it extremely well,
Yeah.
and Nino Hill's done a great job of not letting that first man bring him down. So it's on the 2. Montgomery comes to the sideline. So something special here from the Bulldogs. They have Hill and Johnson side by side in the backfield in a Wildcat type formation. And they just got the timeout before the play clock ran out. So McKinley will take another timeout with 4:33 to go in the first half. Take a break. 14-0 Jackson. You're listening to High School Football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
Sarshone Auto Group is Ohio's fastest growing automotive group with 6 locations in Northeast Ohio, featuring top brands like Chevy, Ford, Ram, Jeep, Dodge, and more. Experience the fast, friendly, no-pressure approach to car buying that makes Sarshone truly different. Visit Sarshone today or see the selection of thousands of new and used vehicles at sarshone.com. Sarshone Auto Group, an official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
Trying to catch him on the backside, which I don't think he has a chance.
All right, McKinley out of the timeout with a 1st and goal on the 2. They trail 14-0. And Montgomery back in the game. Nope, sorry. That's Nino Hill getting ready to take the snap in the Wildcat. Johnson to his right, wing right. And Hill takes the snap, runs to his right, bounces off a tackler, and he's down to the 1, and he's in for the touchdown. The official on the far side came in with hands raised, and the Bulldogs are on the board.
Yeah, that drive was all Nino Hill. That even on that last play, he was stopped a good yard and a half back in the backfield.
So Nino Hill with some impressive work on that possession. And the extra point coming from Thomas Mankowski. Kick up. And good. Mankowski on the season. Now 24 of 28, and he hits that one with 4:25 left in the first half. It's Jackson 14, McKinley 7. You're listening to high school football presented by the Sarchone Auto Group on Q92.
By choosing Life Care Family Health and Dental in Canton as your medical home, you'll have access to a variety of integrated health services, including dental, vision, women's health, children's health, and behavioral health. Life Care's goal is to provide comprehensive and coordinated medical care to maximize health outcomes for you and your family. If you are sick, we have same-day appointments for our current patients. For information on how to become a new patient, visit lifecarefhoc.org. At Life Care Family Health and Dental, you will never get turned away.
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarchone Auto Group.
Bulldogs go 91 yards on that touchdown drive. A much-needed score and much-needed momentum for the Bulldogs. They now trail at 14-7. And Mankowski to kick it off. Two back deep for Jackson, standing around their 8-yard line as the ball is booted. The kicker slips and falls as he hits it. And the ball's picked up on the near side. Satterfield trying to go up the middle and bouncing off tacklers and taking it out to around the 28-yard line. So the Polar Bears 1st and 10 with 4:17 to go in the first half. Both teams with one timeout remaining. Of course, next week is traditional rival week. Jackson takes on Hoover. McKinley will be at Massillon. We'll have both of those games for you here on Q92 Sports. That game next week is at Jackson against the Vikings. So on 1st and 10, Polar Bears, 2 out to the left, 1 to the near side, a wing left, and on 1st down they hand it off. And the running back trying to get to the outside with a flag down behind the play. Foster Stanley goes down after about a 2-yard pickup, but it's coming back for a holding call.
Yeah, Jackson needs to just, step back, take a deep breath here, and don't let this get away from them. They've been playing, pretty much mistake-free football, but you don't want to get behind.
So it'll be 1st down and 20. As Eckerman back to throw, and he's tripped up for a sack. Dior Garner got into the backfield. He had a few trips into the backfield last week against Lake, and he gets the sack here, now back to the 11-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 27 here for Jackson.
That Gardner shot through there was low. It was so low, just got basically the top of Eckerman's shoes and just tripped him up enough. But he exploded through there like a missile.
Second and very, very long. Rush coming. Eckerman rolling out to his left, and he's down again. Back at the 8-yard line. Chased down from behind by Shad Davis, a sophomore. So they'll spot him on the 9. He needs to go to the 38. So 3rd and 29 here for Jackson from their own 8-yard line. 3:05 clock running, first half. Jackson up 14-7, but McKinley has taken back the momentum. Eckerman in the pistol, one back. And they'll hand it off. Stanley running left to the 10, to the 13, maybe the 14-yard line. And that's as far as he goes. And it will be punting time for the Polar Bears. Dante McClellan on the stop that time. And Miser will boot it from around his goal line. Keith Quincy will stand out near midfield.
Yeah, Jackson playing a little conservative on that 3rd and long, just trying to eat up some clock here before the half. McKinley should get good field position here with 1 timeout.
Good snap, no rush, and he kicked it off the side of his foot. He didn't get much of that one at all. Coming to the near side, takes a right turn toward the sideline and out of bounds on the 40-yard line. So 27 on the punt. And McKinley will take over on the Jackson 40 with 2:01 to go in the first half. And they could do a lot to erase a really rough start in the next 2 minutes. If they can punch in another one.
Absolutely. You just see the momentum on their sideline, McKinley sideline here towards us. Just heads are up now, and they're a little bit more spirited.
They'll start on the 40-yard line, and this time Jamar Johnson is in the backfield. Again, they go with the trips right, 1 to the near side. Johnson will run to the right, and this time the Polar Bears are there, and no gain on the play. Nolan Foster, Zach Saleh, Zach Brocker, and no gain. 1:45 to go in the half. Montgomery comes to the near side to get the play. Face to face with his coach, and he'll take it into the huddle. 15 on the play clock. Now they break the huddle and come out in the same formation. Montgomery fakes the handoff, in trouble, gets away, throws it deep downfield, and he missed his man. He had Xavier Harris running down around the goal line, but Montgomery had to avoid the rush and couldn't hit the receiver. And now it's 3rd and 10. 1:11 to go in the half.
Yeah, number 10, Max Cowles came off the DB blitz there, the cornerback, and put pressure immediately. Cam did a great job, making the initial tackler miss there and just couldn't get the ball on target. Big play here for Jackson, just mentally, stopping the Bulldogs here if they can, going into half.
1 back, 3 receivers. Back is Montgomery, looking out to the right. Now comes near side, throws, it's caught. 30, 28, 26-yard line, and a first down. Darius Hill crossing the field, and another example there of Montgomery keeping his head up and finding the man downfield for the first down. They'll spot him on the 27. Clock stops at 1:04.
Yeah, you never see him get, I guess, what I call happy feet. He stays in the pocket. He steps up where he needs to and delivers the ball in a strike. He gets time. He's a very dangerous quarterback.
This time they go with 2 out to the right. Nope, 3 out there. Harris joins the party. Quincy to the near side left. Now Britt comes in motion toward the ball from the outside, and they have 3 bunched over there. Jackson looked like they might have been offside, and they were. Warmoth trying for the blitz at the last moment. Got over the line of scrimmage a tick early. So that'll be a free 5 for the Bulldogs and put them down on the 21 with a 1st and 5 with 1:03 to go in the half. 14-7. Jackson on top. McKinley threatening.
Jackson's really coming hard off the edges. You want to change your count up, go on 2 here a little bit. You got to be disciplined to be able to do that, but that would really slow this rush down if they could go on 2 and mix up the cadence a little bit on them.
First penalty of the game, I believe, against Jackson. McKinley had 40 yards in penalties in the first quarter.
Yeah, Jackson had a big holding penalty on that last drive. That was a tough one. Yeah.
That's correct. So resetting the clock. 1:04. And McKinley with a 1st and 5 on the 21-yard line. Montgomery rolls right, being chased, hit as he throws, and it's intercepted in the middle of the field. An ill-advised pass and picked off by Zach Saleh. Flag after the play.
Yeah, Jackson came with a cross stunt there. Just miscommunication up front. Nice blitz. Really the first mental mistake I've seen Cam make all year when we've had him. Just forced the ball, but he had nothing he could do with that.
After the interception, we had a foul on each team. Dead ball, personal foul, 54, offense. Dead ball, personal foul, number 13, defense. Those penalties offset. With the 1st down and 10, check.
So the Polar Bears turn away McKinley there. They'll have it on their 25 with 57 seconds left in the half. And still with that 7-point lead. Have 1 timeout remaining. And they get the play on the far side, and they'll come out right to the line of scrimmage. And they'll come out with 5 wide, an empty backfield here on 1st and 10 on their 25. Eckerman, he's going to run the quarterback draw. He's got room to the 30, and he slides down on the 35, 36-yard line, and I believe he has a 1st down. He does on the 36. So they spread out the Bulldogs there and run the quarterback up the middle for the 1st down. Clock running with 40 seconds. Eckerman back to throw. Looks out to the far side. It's caught. And an immediate tackle on the far side of the field. And a flag comes in.
Just can't do that anymore.
It was Kuntz who made the catch. And the defender grabbed him and basically was like a takedown in wrestling.
Now, you're used to be taught hit lift tackle, but you can't lift anymore and take them down to the ground unimpeded like that.
Personal foul, defense, for a throwdown at the 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
So that'll take the ball to the McKinley 49 on the personal foul footballing.
Yeah, there's a lot of DBs over there in that hall and made a lot of tackles like that in their careers and got away with it. But, yeah, you just can't do that anymore.
So from the 49, we have 30 seconds, clock running. Again, empty backfield for Eckerman. 1 timeout left for Jackson. Eckerman back to throw. Looks for a quick one to the left. Nothing there. Now rolls right. Throws to Calando, has it on the 40. He's to the 38-yard line. And down to 13 seconds. And Jackson gets the 1st down there. They're going to spike it. Clock running. Down to 10, down to 9. And they spike it with 9 seconds.
That was always one of my pet peeves of being an offensive coach. When you know you're going to spike the ball, you don't have to get lined up in your exact position. And Jackson, wideouts want to make sure make sure you have who needs to be off the ball and who needs to be on the ball. It doesn't matter where you're on the field. Get that ball spiked quick.
So 9 seconds. They still have a timeout left. And back to throw. Eckerman steps up, fires middle. It's caught. Calando down to the 20. And Jackson gets their timeout with 1 on the clock.
I tell you, that's the second time tonight I've been impressed with Coach Rohr's speed running down the sideline. He looks like he's back in football shape. Made that timeout with 1 second left.
Timeout, Jackson. That's their 3rd and final.
So from the 20, 1 second, I would imagine we would see the field goal team, but not sure. Cooper Miser's long this year is 37, and that's what this one would be. He's 5 of 6 between 30 and 39 yards. So we had a really slow first quarter. The second quarter was going very quickly until the last couple of minutes. And the clock stops with 1 second. Calando is the holder. Lucas Benson is the snapper. 37-yard field goal attempt by Cooper Miser. Good snap, ball down, kick on the way, plenty of distance, and it is good. And the teams go to the halftime break in a 10-point game. McKinley had the ball inside the Jackson 30-yard line with a minute to go in the half. And Jackson gets the last points of the half. They intercept a pass, and they take it from their 25 down to the McKinley 20 and save their timeout for 1 second to go and got the field goal to go up 17-7 at the break. So we will send it back to the studios for the Putman Properties halftime show. We'll have news. We'll have scores of other games. We'll have highlights from the first half. We'll have a look at the playoff points and all that coming up in just a few moments. Right now, we'll send it to the break with our halftime score, Jackson 17, McKinley 7. You're listening to High School Football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
Looking for that perfect summer glow all year round? Carolina Sun has you covered. Located at 3535 Wales Road, we are your go-to spot for premium tanning services. And guess what? You can save big with our Membership Monday deals. Just find us on Facebook to unlock exclusive offers. Whether you're getting ready for a special event or just want to keep that
as the decline in Marlington's overall rating reflects a trend among many Stark County districts. A Jackson Township restaurant has reopened 2 weeks after a vehicle crashed into the establishment. Angelo's To Go welcomed back their customers Thursday afternoon. For now, only drive-thru and online direct delivery service is available at the Fulton Drive Northwest address. On October 4th, an 81-year-old woman drove an SUV through the entrance and pinned a customer to the counter. 69-year-old Andrew Groschmidt of Plain Township died later at Mercy Hospital. Repairs to the lobby continue. They should be complete by early November. Plans are in the works for the school-based Malvern Community Learning and Wellness Center. Groundbreaking is scheduled Tuesday for the 6,800-square-foot facility. It will be located on the Brown Local Schools campus on Coral Road Northwest. The school district says about $3.5 million in grant funding is paying for the project. The center is scheduled to open in August 2025. It will provide access to services including healthcare, mental health, addiction and recovery services, care team services, and physical fitness activities for staff and area residents will be available. Also featured will be a preschool classroom and a leadership and career lab. More news after this.
The Q92 Sports Network brings you more high school football and basketball games than anyone else, by far. But did you know that you can go back and listen to our broadcast again? Simply go to the Q92 radio page on SoundCloud. We posted the games we broadcast for everyone to go back and relive. We have playlists filled with our high school football broadcasts from 2016 to this season. So go to SoundCloud now, follow Q92 Radio, and listen. And thank you for listening to all of our sports broadcasts of high school football and basketball on the Q92 Sports Network.
Nearly $16 million from the U.S. Agriculture Department will go toward a new public safety building in East Palestine. According to U.S. Senator Sherrod Brown, the need for new public safety infrastructure was brought to light during last year's train derailment in the village. Every public safety building is within the 1-mile evacuation zone. The firehouse is about 40 feet away from the railroad tracks, meaning it would have been unable to respond to the derailment if it had happened a half-mile earlier. The new facility will house East Palestine's police and fire department's emergency services and its 911 dispatch center. Many Mahoning County voters hoping to mail in their absentee ballots will have to wait a while longer. The Vindicator reports the Board of Elections fired the company assigned to print the ballots. Election IQ of Akron had printed only about half of the requested 22,000 ballots by Wednesday. Board of Elections Director Tom McCabe drove to the company's headquarters to pick up the ballots and took them to the Youngstown Post Office himself. Voters should receive them by Saturday. The board contracted with Graphic Village and Blue Ash to complete the work. Voters should receive those ballots by the end of next week. Graphic Village will also print the Election Day ballots. Charges were filed against a Poland man who allegedly solicited sex online. 58-year-old Timothy Clavin was arrested Thursday by agents with the Mahoning Valley Human Trafficking Task Force when he showed up at a predetermined meeting place. Clavin reportedly responded to an ad posted online requesting sexual activity for $140. He pleaded not guilty today to charges of engaging in prostitution and possession of criminal tools. Clavin will be back in Columbiana County Municipal Court January 30th. Clavin is Assistant Fire Chief for the Western Reserve Joint Fire District. 2 men have pleaded not guilty to charges stemming from the shooting death of a mail carrier in Warren. 24-year-old Caprice Sledge of Warren and 44-year-old Thomas Sledge of Youngstown were arraigned today in Cleveland federal court. Each is charged with murder of an officer and employee of the United States and a weapons charge. On March 2nd, the suspects allegedly shot Jonte Davis at Scott Street and Olive Street Northeast. He was found shot in his mail truck. Davis died at Trumbull Regional Medical Center. Police believe he knew the suspects. A trial is scheduled for December 9th. Both men remain in federal custody. We'll return you to the stadium for the second half of tonight's game, right after the forecast from News 5 meteorologist Mark Johnson. For the Putman Properties Halftime Show, I'm Jeff Mears with Q92 News.
For the overnight, clear skies. Could be a little bit of frost here and there. Look for a low near 37 degrees. Saturday, you get more sunshine. We're going to warm it up to near 70. I am Mark J. Weather from News 5.
Located on West Tuscan, Canton, Harmon's Pub has proudly earned the title of Stark County's #1 bar. This local gem tantalizes taste buds with an impressive array of 18 chicken wing flavors, perfectly paired with an eclectic menu of fresh salads, mouth-watering burgers, and irresistible daily food and drink specials. Thursday nights are legendary for their famous Reuben with fries, all for just $10.99. Whether you're a wing aficionado or a burger enthusiast, Harmon's Pub is the ultimate destination for great food, delightful drinks, and unforgettable experiences.
Finding the right space to open or relocate your business can mean the difference between success and failure. The real estate professionals at Putman Properties will help find the perfect commercial property to suit your needs. Putman Properties specializes in office, retail, warehouse, manufacturing, investment, and multifamily residential real estate. Looking to sell your commercial real estate? Putman Properties marketing professionals will utilize local, regional, and national networks developed over 30 years to command the highest yield available. Contact Putman Properties at 330-498-4400 or visit them online at putmanproperties.com.
Get into SARTA and get SARTA smart. Who rides SARTA? You do. You, your neighbors, coworkers, and the people behind you in line at the grocery store. Our riders are moms, dads, students, retirees, and commuters. To help persons with disabilities, our ProLine countywide service picks them up and takes them direct to their destination. SARTA riders tell us they appreciate all the places we take them and how we help the community. That's how you get SARTA smart. Visit sartaonline.com/smart.
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
Sarshone Auto Group is Ohio's fastest growing automotive group with 6 locations in Northeast Ohio, featuring top brands like Chevy, Ford, Ram, Jeep, Dodge, and more. Experience the fast, friendly, no-pressure approach to car buying that makes Sarshone truly different. Visit Sarshone today or see the selection of thousands of new and used vehicles at sarshone.com. Sarshone Auto Group, an official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
Hey, Canton, got a craving for something sweet? Visit Heggy's Candy Company, downtown Canton's sweetest spot. Located at 743 Cleveland Avenue, Heggy's Candy Company has been in business for 101 years, offering the finest candies, chocolates, and nuts made in-house, perfect for any occasion. You can shop online anytime at Heggy's.com. Whether you're picking up a gift or treating yourself, Heggy's Candy Company has the perfect bite for you.
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
Welcome back to Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. The Jackson High School Marching Band just finishing up their show. And the McKinley Marching Band waiting in the wings. Jackson on top at halftime by a score of 17-7. Let's take a look at those first half highlights. McKinley had the ball first, and their drive short-circuited by penalty and negative plays, and they gave the ball to Jackson in very good field position, and the Polar Bears went right down the field and took the lead. So the Bulldogs sluggish coming out, and Jackson taking advantage as they have a 1st and goal on the 3. Eckerman hands to Satterfield up the middle, and he's in for the touchdown. The extra point made it 7-0. And it wasn't very long before the Polar Bears got on the board again. The McKinley offense continuing to struggle, and Jackson again with good field position, able to take the ball into the end zone. 1st and goal on the McKinley 1. They have 2 receivers right. They have a wing and a tight end to the right, all to the far side of the field. And Foster Stanley, the running back, he'll get the carry up the middle, and he's in for the touchdown. Again, the extra point was good, 14-0 the score at the end of the first quarter. And it looked like it might be more as Jackson drove down inside the 10-yard line. And they had a 4th and 1 on the McKinley 8. But a running play was stopped for no gain. The Bulldogs took over on the 9 and proceeded to drive 91 yards, just about all of it on the ground, for their only touchdown of the first half. And Hill takes the snap, runs to his right, bounces off a tackler, and he's down to the 1, and he's in for the touchdown. The official on the far side came in with hands raised, and the Bulldogs are on the board. The extra point made it 14-7. McKinley had the momentum. And a good defensive possession and got good field position after the punt and had the ball inside the Jackson 30. But Cam Montgomery, one of his very few poor decisions that we've seen anyway, threw only his 5th interception of the season in 170 or so attempts. He was being hit and tried to get rid of the football, and it was intercepted by Jackson. And the Polar Bears, with just over a minute and 1 timeout, were able to drive from their own 25 to the McKinley 20. They got their only timeout with 1 second left in the half. And Cooper Meiser then kicked a 37-yard field goal to put the Polar Bears up by a score of 17-7 as the teams went to the locker room. And that is our score right now. In the playoff picture right now, in Division I, Region 1, men are leading the way at 8-0. McKinley was second coming in, about 2.5 points behind at 6-2. Jackson was 7th at 5-3. In Division II, Region 5, Green at 6-2. They were second behind Walsh Jesuit, who's running away with that one. They're 8-0. Lake is 10th at 5-3. Hoover 11th, also at 5-3, and Louisville 15th at 3-5. In Division II, Region 7, Massillon, Washington is 7th coming in, but they will get some good points tonight if they can hang on against Harding. Perry is 12th at 3-5. Division 3, Region 11, Carrollton is 11th at 6-2. In Division 4, Region 13, Beloit, West Branch, they're 8-0. They're going to 9-0 tonight, but they are only 6th in their region because of their strength of schedule. Northwest is 8th at 6-2. In Division 4, Region 15, Indian Valley leading the way, 8-0. Canton South is 11th at 3-5. Top 16 get in the playoffs, by the way. In Division 5, Region 17, Garraway is 3rd. Canton Central Catholic 14th. They're trailing tonight. Farrell is 17th. Sandy Valley 18th. And Tusky Valley is 20th. In Region 18, Triway is 6th at 6-2. In Division 6, Downton is 4th at 5-3. United is 9th at 7-1. Aquinas 19th at 1-7. Tuslaw 20th at 2-6. And in Division 7, Western Reserve is 7-1. They're leading the way. And Malvern is 4th at 7-1 as things starting to crystallize as far as the playoffs are concerned, but still a lot to be determined because, of course, with tonight's games, as we've been talking about those, the Perry Green game, very big. The Lake Hoover game, very big. Northwest playing Triway tonight. So a lot on the line. And then you have Week 10 next week as Lake will take on Green and Hoover will play Jackson. And Perry will play Glen Oak next week in the Federal League. On the SARTA scoreboard right now, they have started the third quarter now. Lake up on Hoover 10-6. Northwest still leading Triway 17-14. Buckeye Trail up over East Canton 20-3. Green leads Perry 10-7. Central trailing Lake Catholic 17-0. Massillon up on Harding 24-7. And South Range leading Louisville 28-13. Let's send it down to hear the Canton McKinley marching band. All right, the Canton McKinley Marching Band wrapping up their show, and we'll take another timeout. We'll come back for the second half of this one. Our halftime score on the SARTA scoreboard, Jackson 17, McKinley 7. You're listening to high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
High school football exemplifies the true meaning of teamwork. At Friends and Family Credit Union, our team of local friendly professionals offer the same true spirit for our members. With a wide array of products from vehicle loans to personal loans, family secure checking with ID Protect, mortgage, home equity line of credit, and more. For over 60 years, we have the game plan for your financial well-being. Visit any of our 3 convenient locations, online or mobile banking. Now, more than ever, it's time to bring a friend into the family.
A scenic, challenging, and exceptional golf experience awaits you at Spring Valley Golf Course in East Sparta. Undulating fairways, high-quality greens, and a fun challenge await golfers of all skill levels. A tee time is just a phone call away. Don't miss out on a chance to play this hidden gem. You can reach the Spring Valley Clubhouse by calling 330-484-1886.
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
Teams back out on the field here for the second half at Tom Benson Stadium. Jackson with a 17-7 lead. And finishing up on that SARTA score. By the way, some baseball going on tonight as well up in Cleveland. The Yankees up 2-1 on Cleveland in the second inning. And the Mets beat the Dodgers this afternoon 12-6 after barely being able to get a man on base in yesterday's game. So that series is 3-2 for the Dodgers. So they go back to Los Angeles for that one. Also in high school football tonight, Glen Oak leading Mansfield 28-7. They have a couple teams ahead of them, but we've been thinking for a while. One win, who knows?
Yeah, one win, they're probably in, honestly. So,
of course, that would put them up against Mentor if they did get in. Probably if they were 16th. They're tied for 17th now at 0-8, but the Mansfield Seniors had a poor season this year. They're the defending champions in that conference out there, but have only won a game or two this year. Caraway up on Sandy Valley, 27-6. Tuslaw 21. Canton South 14. Salem 45. Marlington zip. A couple of scores in early in the second half. Perry's taken a 14-10 lead over Green, and Tuslaw leads Canton South 24-21. They're about halfway through the third quarter here. We're still a half minute or so from starting the third quarter. And Jackson will get the ball to start the second half. They won the toss and deferred to the second half. Next week's schedule, as we said earlier, well, it starts with Thursday, actually. Central Catholic and St. Thomas Aquinas will meet on Thursday at Aquinas. Friday night, Hoover is at Jackson. That's where we're scheduled to be next Friday. The AM 1310 WDPN game, Marlington and Alliance. Other games on Q92radiosports.com. Perry at Glen Oak, Green at Lake, Northwest at Canton South, East Canton at Malvern, and Fairless and Tuslaw. And then, of course, Ryan and I will be at Paul Brown Tiger Stadium next Saturday afternoon for the Week 10 matchup between McKinley and Massillon. Thomas Mankowski teeing the ball up on the 40-yard line. Two receivers back deep for Jackson around their 10, and we are just about ready to go this second half. Remember last year, McKinley in Week 9 was beaten right at the end of the game by Glen Oak, 7-3 here at home. And trying to avoid another bummer of a night like that one was. They've got some work to do here in the second half. Kickoff down to Satterfield at the 5. He comes straight up the field, and he gets hit at the 25-yard line by the outside return defenders for McKinley, one of which was Adonis Kelly. And that's how a kickoff return is supposed to look. He just came right up the field and got what he could. And Jackson from their 25 with a 1st and 10. And wearing the white jerseys and the gold pants tonight. McKinley, the black jerseys and black pants. Very traditional look for both teams tonight. Lucas Eckermet, the quarterback for Jackson, has his running back to his left in the pistol. 2 receivers, 2 tight ends, throw out to the far side, and a catch along the sideline. Pass pulled in the first time we've called Max Call's name tonight. We've had a couple of scores in our game at Green, which is a huge game in the Federal League this season. It was decided on a weird bounce of a pass that ended up with a touchdown in the final seconds of that game.
One play could mean so much in a league and a season, that's for sure.
That was a pickup of 5 yards on the play out to the 30. 2nd down. It is Satterfield trying to run left and cuts back to the inside and picks up about 3. Dante McClellan forced that play back in. And Satterfield able to get up close to a 1st down. It's 3rd and a little more than a yard. Polar Bears looking to the far side for the play. They have 2 receivers to each side of the formation. And the tight end who split out over there, not quite sure. Here's Eckerman back to throw, throws it to the far side, and on his knees, Cowles makes a catch for a 1st down at the 39-yard line. Shad Davis, the closest defender, but that was just a pitch and a catch.
Yeah, got the distance for the 1st down, got past the markers. Just a nice ball again, nice zip on it. Really easy, catchable ball. Jackson needs to come out here, keep the energy and make a statement here on this first drive. It's always one of the most important ones.
Lake takes a 17-6 lead over Hoover, as they've got some people back this week. Here's a handoff. Satterfield running left to the 41, but he's going to be stacked up there and pushed backwards as the Bulldogs get the pursuit and the tackle. First man there for McKinley, look like Zayshawn Murray, a junior, and a big one in the middle of that defensive line. It'll be 2nd down and 7 from the 42. Jackson up 17-7. Now 2 minutes into this 3rd quarter. It's time to go empty backfield. 3 out to the right, 2 to the near side. Eckerman back to throw. 4-man rush. Pressure. Throw near side. Incomplete. Pass intended for Satterfield, but the pressure forced the inaccurate pass by Eckerman, and that'll set up a 3rd down and 8 here for the Polar Bears. Third down and 8. Eckerman back, standing in, throws far side. It's a catch by the marker, and the receiver went down. The defender comes up and makes the stop short of the 1st down, and then we have a flag after the play.
Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 18, defense. 15-yard penalty.
Well, that's a killer on Kevon McNeil. Called for something. He was back there by the quarterback. At the end of the play, it was going to be 4th and 2, but it's a 1st down on the unsportsmanlike conduct against the Bulldogs. And that'll put the ball on the McKinley 38-yard line.
Yeah, Satterfield was back there. They had max protection. He just got up underneath the chin And he wasn't happy about that. It was a clean block. I've always liked watching the backs if they pick up or not. It was a clean block, just not a smart decision on the Bulldogs' part there.
So from the McKinley 38, Jackson with a 1st and 10. We've run almost 3 minutes off the clock here to start the third quarter. They lead at 17-7. Eckerman hands off to Satterfield. He's got room around left end, 35, 30, 25, and down to the 23-yard line. They'll spot him on the 24. It's a 13-yard pickup. McKinley started very slowly. They had a period of a possession, a defensive hold, and another possession that looked like it was going to get them right back in the game, but they had a turnover, which led to a Jackson field goal, and now the Polar Bears starting the second half like they did the first, and Satterfield with a nice cutback to get through a hole and pick up about 4 yards down to the 20.
Yeah, I love seeing running back. I call that press and puncture. He presses the line, press, and then he sees that cutback and he makes it late. He do a lot of drills over bags, lateral movement like that on the back. That's a great run.
Perry now up on green, 21-10. Hoover got a kickoff return for touchdown, so they missed the 2-pointer. They're down 5 against Lake as a run to the left gets very little, and another flag behind the play from the referee, and that's going to be a hold against the Polar Bears. So they had a second, they had a 6 yards to go, but now the penalty is going to move them back.
Holding offense, number 51.
So that'll put the ball in the 30. It'll be 2nd and 16. 8:05 to go in the third. Jackson with a 17-7 lead over Glen Oak. Polar Bears looking to the far side for the play. And Stanley is a slot to the near side and a wing to the right. 4 receivers on the field. Eckerman back to throw. Rush coming, throw over the middle, and it is in and out of the hands of Calando at the 15-yard line. And another flag. Lance Long on the coverage. And I don't know what this one's going to be. Oh, he's going to call interference against the Bulldog defender.
That's a tough call there. I thought that was great defense. He came down and got the arms out after he caught or touched the ball. That's a tough one.
Pass interference. Defense, number 29. Second down.
You hear what the Bulldog fans have to say about that one. That was a very close call from the official behind the play, behind the defender. So it'll be 2nd and 1 now on the 15-yard line. Eckerman with a flag down, throwing for the end zone and caught out of bounds, and another flag. Orlando caught it, but he was well out of bounds, but we might have an interference call against.
I believe it's going to be on Jackson. Maybe he pushed off there to catch the ball. That's another
tough
call there, especially in high school.
Both on the offense. We have pass interference, number 7, offense. We have illegal shift, offense.
So illegal shift at the beginning of the play, and then the offensive pass interference on Calando in the end zone. I think that was Cortez Dorsey in coverage. He was covering him pretty well. There was contact.
Illegal shift is declined. Pass interference, number 7, offense is accepted. That's a 15-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
So we're basically right back where we were 2 plays ago. It's back out at the 30, and it'll be 2nd and 16.
That's when the football gods just kind of get it all back to where it needs to be.
Jackson, 4.5 minutes off the clock here in the third quarter. They've had the ball the whole time. They lead by 10. And Eckerman hands it on the sweep around left end, and they've got him hemmed in. That's Stanley, who's down on the 29. First Bulldog there was Jordan McElroy. And it'll be called no gain on the play. So 3rd and 16.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Jackson calls out. It's kind of an outside zone. I'd like to see Eckerman maybe he read it and maybe keep that going off around the end there.
Massillon up now 31-7 on Harding. Lake up 17-12 against Hoover. And Eckerman back to throw on 3rd and long. Comes near side. Caught. That's Kuntz at the 21. And Quincy takes care of him. Ending that play. That looked like one to set up a field goal right there. Unless they're going to go for it here on 4th down and 7. But the field goal team is coming in. Cooper Miser hit one from 37 in the first half on the last play of the half. This would be 38, which would be his season long. He's 8 of 10 on the season. Good snap, ball down, kick on the way, plenty of distance, and it is good. 5:59 to go in the third quarter. It's now Jackson 20, McKinley 7. You're listening to High School Football, presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
Sarshone Auto Group is Ohio's fastest growing automotive group with 6 locations in Northeast Ohio, featuring top brands like Chevy, Ford, Ram, Jeep, Dodge, and more. Experience the fast, friendly, no-pressure approach to car buying that makes Sarshone truly different. Visit Sarshone today or see the selection of thousands of new and used vehicles at sarshone.com. Sarshone Auto Group, an official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
Jackson takes half the third quarter and finishes their drive with a 38-yard field goal by Cooper Miser. Seen a lot of good kickers in the county this year. And Miser now 9 of 11 on the season on field goals and 7 of 8 between 30 and 39 yards. He's made 2 tonight, and Jackson leads 20-7 halfway through the third quarter. Miser to kick off. He bunts it up the far side. Still rolling. Picked up at the 15. Here comes the man to the 15, 20. Breaks a tackle. Out to the 25, and finally gang tackled at the 27, 28-yard line. It was actually a pretty alert play by the return man.
Yeah, it was a nice kick by Jackson there. You can see the coach, he was kind of standing there pointing where he wanted to put it. He put it right where he needed to. Just the initial tackle or miss.
That was Shad Davis who brought it back, so McKinley will start in their 28, 1st and 10. Perry continues to lead Green, 21-10 in the fourth quarter. On 1st and 10, Cam Montgomery in the pistol, turns, gives off to Nino Hill, running left, bounces off a tackle, flag down. From the umpire, you know what that means. 4-yard gain.
And that's the backside tackle. You don't really need to hold there. That's just someone slipping by you. Just let them go.
Holding, offense, number 74, 10-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
They're in the middle of the third quarter with the West Branch lead Carrollton 20-6. West Branch not used to being in games that close in the second half. The Warriors giving them a good game. Here's Montgomery back to throw. Spins away. Now he gets it out to Hill. Far side. Hill to the 20 and tripped up on the 21-yard line. Chased down and tackled by Jordan Warmoth, who's having a whale of a game tonight for the Polar Bears. So at the 20, it will be second down and 18. Canton South leading Tuslaw 28-24. So another action-packed week of high school football in Stark County. And 7 games for you again this week on Q92. 3 to the near side, 1 out to the left. Hill right up the middle, blasting his way forward. Gets held up and then hit from behind and ends up getting a couple extra yards after the hit from Nolan Foster. That will set up a 3rd and 10 for McKinley from their 28.
Yeah, Jackson's just timing these snaps up. I think if they get it going here, we can.
Clock's not running. I don't know why.
No. Saw the hand signal. I thought we were going to break already.
Now it's running.
There we go. But yeah, I'd love to see McKinley go on too to slow this rush down a little bit.
Swing pass out to the left to Stephon Thomas. He made a great one-handed catch, but he's tackled at about the 29-yard line. So that's only about a gain of 1 on the play. It was about 30 seconds there where the clock didn't run. But McKinley unable to convert on the 3rd and 10. Will have to punt it away. Quincy to kick. Takes the snap, 1 step. Again, kicks it off the side of his foot, bouncing along the ground. And it's going to stop rolling on the Jackson 43. So that is only 28 yards on the punt by Quincy. 4:22 left in the 3rd.
Yeah, he was definitely a weapon last week for McKinley on his punts. You know, we were talking about just the motion he had on it. It's, you know, just hard to catch. And this week, I think it has a little bit to do with Jackson bringing that rush. You know, you see that guy coming off the corner in the side of your eye. That does make you rush a little bit, but you got to stand in there and deliver that punt still.
So Jackson, who had the ball for 6 minutes, right back out there on offense. McKinley had it for about a minute and a half. And the Polar Bears again in good field position on their 43-yard line. 2 tight ends, 1 back, and it's Stanley. Gets the ball, starts left, nothing there, trying to go all the way back out to the right, being chased and thrown down by Dante McClellan near the line of scrimmage. Maybe a yard gain.
Yeah, that's that outside zone there, and I think Eckerman, you know, could pull that. I don't know if, you know, they want him to read that or not, or if it's just either tell him to give the ball, you know, in this situation. But said Stanley took the ball where it should have went out the back door on the right side. You know, coaches sometimes will look at the quarterback and just, you know, will give a me call or a just give call no matter what.
1 yard on the gain. 2nd and 9. Jackson up 20-7. 3.5 to go in the 3rd, and a collision in the backfield, and the runner goes down, running into his own man. Foster Stanley back on his 41. So that'll be a loss of about 3. And for Jackson, it brings up a 3rd down and 12.
Yeah, you want your backs to follow your lineman, but not that close. He got kind of tied up with his feet there, so.
Eckerman alone in the backfield. Keegan Stanley is a wing left. Now he goes out into the slot. 3 receivers near side, 2 to the right. Eckerman straightens up and throws. Caught over the 50 to the 48. Looks like he's going to be about a yard short of the 1st down. Dante McClellan with the tackle.
Yeah, just another great ball. Put it right on the numbers. Just a tight end pop pass there.
And they're going for it here on 4th and 2 on the McKinley 49. Going with a hard count there to see if they could get the Bulldogs to jump initially. Still 15 on the play clock. Now they look to the far side for the play. They could still do that again. But they snap the ball. Here comes Satterfield around the end. He's got a first down, and he's thrown to the turf on the 43-yard line by Dre Wallace. But it's a first down for the Polar Bears. Looked like he was trying to stay in bounds there.
Yeah, I think he was just making sure he got the first down, got the sticks moved. What a great call there by Coach Rohr. You know, going for it, having the confidence in his offense. And then I love what on 4th and short when you get the ball outside a little bit. You know, you pile it up inside, take it outside. But, yeah, that's just great play.
This time they'll run it up the middle with Satterfield. Runs through tackles. Falls forward inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. That's about a 4-yard pickup. 1:35 left in the third. And McKinley's had the ball about a minute and a half here in the third quarter, and they trail 20-7, and it's not looking any better on this possession. Lake leads Hoover 17-15 on the Sardis scoreboard. Don't forget our Paramount Elite Player of the Game coming up following tonight's game. Polar Bears with a 2nd and 6. 3 receivers, wing left, 1 back. Here's the handoff. Satterfield hit and bounced backwards. Garner had him around the waist, and then Shad Davis came up and popped him, sent him backwards. Loss of a yard on the play, so it'll be 3rd and 7 here for the Polar Bears on the McKinley 40. 45 seconds on a running clock in the third quarter. Polar Bears have added 3 points to their lead, and they've controlled the ball here in the third. And it's 3rd and 7. Eckerman straight back with time. Going to throw the bomb down the near sideline for Calando, and he can't get to it. Down around the 5. Good coverage by McElroy for McKinley. And that'll set up a 4th and 7. So they went for the bundle there on 3rd down. And the punt team will come on.
Yeah, like you said, great coverage there by McKinley. Nice ball. The defense just won that play.
Miser to punt. And McKinley likely to have poor field position here. Berry and Green are in the last 2.5 minutes of their game. We are still a quarter plus to go here. Berry with a 21-16 lead over Green. Miser's punt. And Quincy fields it at the 1-yard line. To the 5, to the 7, and that's it. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, it's just a mental there. You got, you know, coaching-wise, you got to tell them, put your feet either on the 10 or the 8. Some coaches, I've always, you know, put your toes on the 10. The ball goes over your head, you just let it go, and you block someone. But, yeah, you don't
there was no question that ball was going in the end zone. Yeah. I mean, it was going to go in on the fly, probably.
No, absolutely.
But Quincy fielded it. Trying to make a big play, but instead he sets his team up at their own 7-yard line with 9 seconds to go in the third quarter. Montgomery in the pistol. Hill to his left. 4 receivers on the field. Montgomery back, throws over the middle, and dropped by Quincy, who looked up. As the ball arrived, it was put right between the 1 and the 1 on his chest. And he couldn't hang on at the 15. So it'll be 2nd down, and we'll have another play in the third quarter. I don't recall a game where we've had so many plays run in the final 30 seconds of all 3 quarters.
Yeah.
Two to each side. 1 back. And comes in motion. Montgomery looking downfield. Now flushed out to his left. Going to throw it, and incomplete. And no flag. Now the flag comes in as the defender had both arms around the receiver out at the 33-yard line. And it looks like an interference call is going to come here against Jackson.
Yeah, most definitely. That was interference, and it was a little late getting the flag. I don't know if you didn't find it or it's. I'm used to that watching my daughter play soccer. They let the play go on for a while, and then they call the foul. So.
Pass interference. Defense, number 23. That's a 15-yard penalty. That's the first down. Because it's a penalty, we have an untimed down.
Yes, another play before the end of the quarter.
Yes.
Even though there's zeros on the clock, we'll still have another play in the third quarter. At least one.
Yes.
So McKinley with a 1st and 10.
If there's an accepted penalty on the last play of the half, we have an untimed down. This will be the last play in the third quarter.
Unless there's a penalty. So McKinley from their 22, 1st and 10 after the interference call. Montgomery back, flushed out, rolling, stepping up, now firing, and it's intercepted. At the 39-yard line, and Max Coles picked it off. And now we go to the third quarter break, and after 3 from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, it's Jackson 20, McKinley 7. You're listening to high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
By choosing Life Care Family Health and Dental in Canton as your medical home, you will have access to a variety of integrated health services, including dental, vision, women's health, children's health, and behavioral health. Life Care's goal is to provide comprehensive and coordinated medical care to maximize health outcomes for you and your family. If you are sick, we have same-day appointments for our current patients. For information on how to become a new patient, visit lifecarefhoc.org. At Life Care Family Health and Dental, you will never get turned away.
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
(20-7), Jackson leads McKinley. As we go to the fourth quarter at Tom Benson Stadium, and Ryan Bevere is now over on the Jackson sideline, and I would imagine that's a pretty happy place right now.
Wow. Yeah, Clint, we haven't seen a sideline like this all season. It's week 9. We're closing in on the playoffs. This game means so much to both teams. Coach Rohr and his team have been fired up all night. The student section's fired up. The fans are fired up, and they are here. They are here for business. You hear it in the microphone right now. You can hear it. You can probably hear the players telling me in my ear that they are fired up.
Make sure after the game you check Ryan's work on Facebook and Instagram, on X. I don't know. Do you do TikTok also, Ryan? I don't know.
The old book face, I call it. Yeah, like Brian said there, this is Coach Rohr's 3rd year, and he has definitely changed the mentality of Jackson football. Jackson's always been known to not be a very physical team, demanding. Going on that 4th down play there in the third quarter, that just shows, the system he has in place and the attitude he wants.
Jackson ball to start the fourth quarter, and Eckerman back to throw, and he's going to be sacked back on the 42-yard line.
I've kind of followed Coach Rohr's career. He was a young assistant at Tuslaw and been, did his time. And, I know this was his dream job to be back home at Jackson. And I think they have over 400 kids in their youth program right now. So he has it going the right way, and they're playing football.
Loss on that last play was 4 yards, so it'll be 2nd and 14 here for Jackson. That was Zayshawn Murray, the junior, with a sack for McKinley, who trail at 20-7 as we're just underway in the fourth quarter. Jackson looking for a share of the Federal League title. Eckerman back, throws it out to the far side and off the hands of Kuntz. It's a long throw, as you said before, from near hash mark to far numbers with Quincy in coverage, also a little bit dangerous. And
that ball
incomplete.
had some zip on it, though. I'm impressed with his arm strength. I know we've had him a little bit, but this year, but it seems like it's a little bit stronger as the season goes on. And I think it's a lot to do with his injury too. He's starting to feel a little bit more comfortable coming back after that knee injury last year.
2 out to the left, 1 to the near side, wing left, 1 back. That's Satterfield, and Eckerman hands him the ball up the middle, and he's going nowhere. Bulldogs have him and throw him to the turf. Antonio Stevens doing the throwing. Only a sophomore. They have some sophomores getting some major time on this McKinley defense. And Jackson with a 3 and out there after the interception, and they'll punt it away from the McKinley 42. At 10:45 left in the fourth quarter. Jackson up 20-7. We'll be getting some finals in here very shortly, I would think.
Yeah, see, they got him on the 5. I'd bring him up to the 10. Anything over your head, just let it go.
McKinley 1 short on the punt team. Ball not snapped yet. Now Miser has it, punts it down the middle. Quincy comes up and fields it on the 10, breaks a tackle to the 15 and out to the 17-yard line. That's where McKinley will start 1st and 10. Another time starting inside their own 20. Tackle by Lucas Benson for the Polar Bears. 10:13 to go. McKinley 13 points behind.
Now, this is when McKinley usually hits a big play. You want to, on Jackson's side, you want to try to manage the game and not give up this big play, but see if they still bring the pressure and keep coming after them.
Montgomery was 6 of 7, I believe. Now he's 8 of 12 for 107 yards. Eckerman's thrown for 147, and they try to run around the right end, and Nino Hill is dropped for a loss. Trying to turn the corner, could not do it. And the tackle by Jackson's Evan Mauser.
Yeah, I think Cam's just getting a little frustrated tonight. You know, you usually don't see it, but he's just trying to make plays, and sometimes you try to make that play and it turns into an interception or a loss.
2nd and 10. Montgomery back. Quick sling to the near side. Caught at the 20. And out to the 22 goes Xavier Harris. So he'll pick up about 5 and bring up a 3rd and 5 here for McKinley with 9.5 minutes to go. Remember our Paramount Elite Player of the Game coming up following the game tonight. Montgomery takes the snap. Throw near side. Quincy wasn't ready for it. Turned around, stuck the hands out. Deflected it, and it was nearly picked off by Cooper Geisinger on the near side. And McKinley, just like that, will have to punt. Again, their field position is such that they've not been able to go for any of these because they've been inside their 30 most of the game. And Quincy will have to kick it again. Good snap, rush coming, kick right down the middle of the field and taken by Calando on his 43, and he slips and falls on the 45. Jameer Gamble with his 4th touchdown of the night for Massillon. It's 38-7 now. Massillon plays the longest games. I don't know of any high school in the country plays longer games than Massillon, but they have not gone to the 4th quarter yet at Harding.
Wow.
But they'll have a running clock with it 38-7. Here it's 20-7 for Jackson. Polar Bears 1st and 10 on their 44 with 9 minutes to go. Eckerman fakes the handoff, runs out to the left, trying to get around the corner, and he does, but he goes out of bounds at the 46, so it's only a 2-yard pickup, and it stops the clock.
Coach Rohr's not happy about something there.
He spends most of the game yelling at somebody. Not necessarily angrily, but he's yelling just about the entire game.
A lot of enthusiasm.
Yes. Second down and 9. Give to Stanley up the middle, dragging tacklers and getting it out close to the 49-yard line, where Jackson will have a 3rd down and 5. But the clock continues to run. We'll be under 8.5 minutes when this next play commences. Salem over Marlington tonight, 45-0. And whistles and a timeout for Jackson.
Yeah, Coach Rohr stays down the sideline so you can see the whole field. And the poor guy, every time he has to make a timeout, he goes flying up because only the head coach can make the timeout call. So,
yeah, he's usually got a 20-yard residential real estate. Looking to sell your commercial real estate?
Well, we're at
Putman Properties marketing professionals will utilize local, regional, and national networks developed over 30 years to command the highest yield available. Contact Putman Properties at 330-498-4400 or visit them online at putmanproperties.com. Next week, Polar Bears home for Hoover.
This is high school football
McKinley
on
at Massillon.
Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
Jackson in a timeout here with 8:16 to go. And the Polar Bears will have a 3rd and 6 on their 49-yard line. Actually, about 5.5. As they work toward the I-77 end of Tom Benson Stadium. Snap back to Eckerman. Wants to throw. Going to fire it deep far side and too high. Incomplete. Intended for Calando, who was again well covered downfield by Cortez Dorsey. And Jackson didn't run much time on that possession. They went out of bounds. They had an incomplete. So it'll be 4th down. And they'll have to punt it away. Clock stops with 8:10 to go.
yeah, they're still taking their shots downfield, but like you said, you run a little bit more time off some of these possessions.
Miser to kick. Quincy standing at his 19 this time. Good snap, no rush. And the kick is a very nice one, a high kick. Fair catch taken by Quincy on the 17-yard line. So 35 on the punt, no return. And with 8:03 to go, 20-7 for Jackson. And McKinley with a 1st and 10.
Yeah, once again, stuck inside their 20. I'm not sure, maybe 2 possessions on the other side of the 20 tonight for McKinley.
Maybe. Yep, they're on their 17 now. To change it, you need to get 1st downs, and they haven't been able to do that. Here's a run over left guard and tackle by Hill. Now he starts back to the other side and takes it across the 20 or the 25-yard line. So he picks up about 8 on that play. Bulldogs unofficially 97 yards rushing, 84 for the Polar Bears. Total yards 250 to 205 and a flag and an offside against Jackson. So McKinley had all the penalties in the first quarter. It's been pretty even since then. That'll be 5 for 45 now against the Polar Bears. McKinley 9 for 95. And that basically is just an average night for them this season.
That's even more glaring when you don't have good field position all night. That's just it's tough to overcome.
That penalty gives McKinley a 1st down to the 30-yard line. And here's Montgomery throwing near side. And the defender on the near side came up and nearly got a hand on it. As it was, the pass was through the hands of the receiver, and now a very late flag. Away from the ball.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense, number 65. 15-yard penalty.
And there you go. That puts the Bulldogs over the 100-yard mark in penalties. And it will back them up to the 15-yard line. Well, they would have a 2nd down and 25.
Yeah, it has to be frustrating for McKinley. These penalties are just killing them, and it's kind of been something just happened all year.
Quick throw out to the far side, and Britt makes the catch, breaks a tackle. Let's see where they mark him out of bounds as he goes crashing into the Jackson folks on the far side. A couple of civilians, I think, got hit over there as they'll put Britt at the 30-yard line. And it will be 3rd down and 10.
I like that play when you get him one-on-one. That's a tough tackle out there in space.
Bulldogs with the 3rd and 10. Montgomery back, throw far side, caught, 1st down, 44-yard line. Again, it's Britt.
That was a great route by Britt there. Got the defensive back there on skates and came back to the ball, just couldn't stay in bounds and make another move.
First and 10 on the 44. Montgomery back again. Looking, throwing near side. Quincy's all by himself at the 45 to the 40 and gets what he can to the 37, 38-yard line. Warmouth came over to finish the tackle. It was started by Cooper Geisinger, but another McKinley 1st down. On the 37, they trail 20-7 with 7 minutes to go. Hoover's kicked a field goal at the buzzer to beat Lake, 18-17. So the Vikings win tonight, a big one. Montgomery again back, lots of time, steps up, fires in the middle and almost intercepted. Montgomery hit as he was throwing. And the Jackson player is down who hit him, and down right at the spot. And it looks like maybe it's a cramp. And the clock stopped with 6:41 to go. It was Warmouth who somehow was rushing the passer on every play and covering on every play as well. Nearly had the interception there.
Yeah, it looks like he's cramping up. Once again, they don't blitz, and the defensive backs, they're doing a great job, the coverage. There's just not much for McKinley to find downfield, and by the time, the pocket collapses, he tries to get outside, and there's just nothing.
The Jackson player was down as Evan Mauser, playing on both sides of the ball. Still trying to stretch that right calf out. And he's walking off the field to the far side. We have 6:41 to go. Jackson 20, McKinley 7. In case you missed it, Hoover beat Lake tonight, 18-17. Canton South over Tuslaw, 28-24. Perry beat Green tonight, 21-16. So some crazy things happening in the Federal League this evening in Week 9. McKinley with a win tonight would have an outright Federal League title, but it's not looking good now. Down 13 with 6.5 minutes to go. Montgomery in trouble, and he's down. Back on the 42. Nino Hill was behind him, begging him to pitch the ball back. Montgomery had 2 defenders hanging on him. I think he just didn't want to risk it, so he went down with the ball on the 42. It'll be 3rd and 15.
Yeah, that's easy for Nino to want the ball there, but once again, it just they're not slowing down that rush. I mean, you just got to counter with something, a draw,
and they've only been rushing 3 the last few plays.
Yeah.
Of course, that means they're covering with 8.
Yeah.
So there's not much downfield. Here they come on the blitz. Montgomery back, in trouble, and down again, back on the 45-yard line.
not sure if you have the stats, how many sacks that, I know they came in with 20, and they are definitely winning the battle up front physically.
They got down to the 37 on the catch by Quincy, and they're now going to have to punt from their own 45. And the clock running with 5.5 minutes to go. McKinley with a 4th and whatever this is, a long way, 27. Punting as Calando, fair catch on his 25-yard line. So Jackson 5-13 away from a victory here at Tom Benson Stadium. Be surprised if we saw the ball go to the air this time.
Absolutely, yeah. I think they're going to be pretty run heavy here. It's more clock ran off here.
McKinley with all 3 timeouts left, but they trail by 13 with 5:13 to go. Eckerman trying to get Calando lined up correctly. They're all 3 now receivers on the left wing to that side. Satterfield, the running back, still 8 on the play clock. Handoff, Satterfield up the middle, both hands around the ball, and he is tackled rudely by McKinley's Antonio Stevens after a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, nice hit by Stevens there. Came up and filled that hole with authority.
Harding has scored. They trail Massillon 38-14. 5 minutes left in that one, so they've caught up to us. 2nd and 8 here for Jackson from their 27. And they're looking to the far side for the play. 10 on the play clock. 4:35. Clock running. Eckerman takes the snap. Up the middle goes Satterfield. Across the 30 to the 33. That's 6 more. Well, 32. That's 5 more. Mauser back out there and still struggling, but he's still in there. It'll be 3rd and 3 here for Jackson, as it'll be under 4 minutes when they run this play. Here's a handoff. Satterfield straight ahead, first down. Over the 35 to the 37. And the Polar Bears can smell it now. McKinley can still take their timeouts, but Jackson with the ball and a 2-touchdown lead with 3.5 minutes to go. Our Paramount Elite Player of the Game coming up 3:20 of football from now. Hand off, Satterfield looking for room. Takes it ahead, across the 40 to the 41. And McKinley calls their first timeout. We'll take it with 3:06 to go. Jackson 20, McKinley 7. You're listening to high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
Quality meals and Midwestern hospitality. That's what the Ohio Grill is known for.
Unhappy
Owners
customer.
Tyler Barrett and Mitchell Gallagher believe in simple food done right. Head to 715 Canton Road in Carrollton, Ohio for mouth-watering burgers, salads, and fresh-cut French fries. Daily specials at theohiogrill.com. Open Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Call 330-476-6312. The Ohio Grill, where food and hometown pride unite. Satisfaction guaranteed.
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
We have 3:06 left in this one from Tom Benson Stadium, and Canton McKinley 3 minutes away from their first Federal League loss of the season. They lost to Avon in week 2, and they lost to Cass Tech from Detroit in week 3 after a win over Harding in the opener, which it turns out was a pretty good win. But they've run the table in the Federal League up until tonight. From the 41. 2nd down and 6. Satterfield runs left, now cuts back to the middle, and he's got another first down, it looks like, for the Polar Bears on their 47.
Yeah, he's a scat back with power. He's an impressive young man. But he stays low, and that helps you. He just has that low center of gravity, and it's hard to get a good shot on him.
Again, they have the tight end lineup as a wing, this time to the near side right, trips receivers near side, and Satterfield to the right of Eckerman in the backfield. He gets it again, runs left, and goes down hard. Again, that's Antonio Stevens with the hit right in the chest. McKinley still with 2 timeouts, but the clock running here at 2:18. Jackson up 20-7. They led 14-0 after 1. 17-7 at halftime. And scored the only 3 points of the second half on a 38-yard field goal by Cooper Miser. He's hit from 37 and 38 tonight. Jackson going to come to the line of scrimmage with 10 on the play clock and down to 1:53 on the game clock. Eckerman hands it off. Satterfield up the middle. And again, not much. And the Bulldogs call their second timeout with 1:43 to go. 20-7 our score. We'll take the break. You're listening to High School Football presented by Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
The Q92 Sports Network brings you more high school football and basketball games than anyone else by far. But did you know that you can go back and listen to our broadcast again? Simply go to the Q92 radio page on SoundCloud. We posted the games we broadcast for everyone to go back and relive. We have playlists filled with our high school football broadcasts from 2016 to this season. So go to SoundCloud now, follow Q92 Radio, and listen. And thank you for listening to all of our sports broadcasts of high school football and basketball on the Q92 Sports Network.
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
1:43 to go here at Tom Benson Stadium. Jackson with a 20-7 lead. And McKinley with only 1 timeout left. Eckerman alone in the backfield this time, takes the snap, runs to his left. Doesn't want to go out of bounds, but he did. He just ran right out of bounds.
Yeah.
Stop the clock with 1:38 to go. And Jackson will punt. Bulldogs trying to run people on and off. And they snap it.
So it could be a penalty, but yep.
And the flag is down as McKinley had too many men on the field.
That's just the sideline. You know, there's a lot of kids just sitting on the bench right now and not paying attention to what's going on in the game, you know, and all of a sudden they're yelling for return team and they're trying to put their mouth guards on, get their helmet snapped, and that's just, you can't have that. You got to be ready to play. And
so the Bulldogs had players running off the field when the ball was snapped. That's illegal substitution penalty. They're already over 100 yards in penalties.
Illegal substitution. Defense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat. 4th down.
So they'll have to kick it again, or maybe they'll go for it. With 1:32 to go, it'll be 4th down and 3 on the McKinley 47. So they could go for it here. If they make it, and they'll just have to take a knee a couple times. That would be the end of the game. Maybe just once. Bulldogs have 10 on the field defensively.
Yeah.
And McKinley is going to call a timeout. So they call their last time out here with 1:32. They had the punt on the last play, but the 5-yard penalty makes it 4th and 3, and Jackson's going to go for it, it looks like, and McKinley didn't have their defense on the field. Well, not all of them anyway. Massillon beat Harding 45-14. So the Tigers in top form as they get ready for Week 10. The Bulldogs cannot say the same. Buckeye Trail over East Canton 38-9. And let's see. The scores are far behind, so I'm not going to even go there. South Range beat Louisville 49-28. Mogador over Aquinas 41-7. Manchester beat Fairless 39-0. Hoover over Lake 18-17. Perry beat Green 21-16. Lake Catholic over Central Catholic 31-12. And now Jackson's going to call a timeout. For some reason, with 1:32 to go, 20-7, Jackson will take a break. You're listening to High School Football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92. Run a play.
Now, this is the discouraging
Q92
sideline.
Sports is your home for the best in high school and Mount Union football. Be sure to follow us all season long on our social media. Just follow Q92 Sports on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We drop photos and videos from all of our football broadcasts, both high school and Mount Union. You can also see what games we'll be broadcasting week to week, and we always follow you back. Be sure to follow Q92 Sports on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and stay connected to the Q92 Sports Network.
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
Cats.
Jackson going to punt here, as they did earlier. It was the timeout. Jay Rohr thinking twice and deciding to punt rather than go for it. Now they line up the Calando under center.
Going to be a legal shift. Both of them shift they were set into.
And they tried to fake out the Bulldogs there, and it's a false start or illegal shift against Jackson. So they'll move back 5 yards and maybe punt it here. I don't know.
You just give the next opponents down the line something else to have to work on and coach on.
Good snap, no rush, kick to the near side of the field. And it's going to bounce inside the 5, inside the 1. Can they down it? They did at the 1 yard line. Suggestions from the sideline from Ryan Bevere for players of the game include Cooper Miser with his 2 long field goals tonight. Christian Satterfield. The Jackson defensive line has been a beast tonight, individually and collectively.
Yeah, and then then when they only rushing a few, they're overall defensively. I've been very impressed with them tonight. They definitely won the battle. They only really given up. McKinley's known, and they relied on those big plays, and they only really gave up one big play all night. Been solid and throughout the game.
So McKinley from their own 1 here after the punt is downed. They'll run it, and I think it's going to be a safety, but I don't know. Kind of lost track of the ball there.
Yeah.
They gave it to Hill up the middle. He got surrounded. He was going to go down in the end zone, it looked like. Did he get it back to his quarterback for a throw? The ball came out of the end zone, and they're going to put it back on the 1. So somehow the Bulldogs avoid a safety. But that's an incomplete pass, so the clock stops. 1:11 to go. McKinley down 20-7. And Montgomery back in the end zone. Fires near side. Quincy has it. He's out to the 15, 16-yard line. They hold him up there. He has a first down on the 16.
It's very intelligent play in that last play, just throw the ball like that.
Whistles.
Timeout.
Jackson takes
too many on the field there.
Their last timeout. So with 57 seconds to go, Jackson takes a timeout to avoid a penalty. With a 13-point lead and less than a minute to go. And the other team's offense on its own 16-yard line.
Yeah, I think Coach Rohr was down to sprint, so he had to call one more just to get that last one in. I think he wanted to talk to the officials also about that.
Yeah, he's out beyond the numbers.
Yeah.
Talking to the referee. Apparently the discussion there was how many timeouts Jackson had used. They don't need any more, so I'm not sure why he cares. And here's a sack. Jordan Warmoth, who's my pick for player of the game. They're going to single somebody out. He tackles Montgomery back on the 9-yard line, and the clock running now 40 seconds. And McKinley will have a second down and 17 on their own 9.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% there. Been a team effort, but he's absolutely led this Jackson defense tonight.
From the very first possession.
Absolutely. What, eight sacks maybe tonight? And a lot of pressures that turned into turnovers.
Montgomery back, throws over the middle. It's caught, 20, 25, 30. Far side and out of bounds at the 38-yard line goes Darius Hill with 3 seconds to go. The Polar Bears defense was just basically hanging back around the 40-yard line. And with 3 seconds, McKinley probably with one more snap. And the Polar Bears are going to share a Federal League title. Green left out with their loss tonight to Perry. Montgomery rolls right, throws deep. Ball way downfield and tipped away and incomplete, and that's the ball game. The Jackson Polar Bears have beaten Canton McKinley for the first time since 2007. They had lost 17 straight to Canton McKinley, but they win here tonight 20-7. We'll come back to wrap it up after a timeout. You're listening to High School Football, presented by the Sarchone Auto Group on Q92.
The Q92 Sports Network brings you more high school football and basketball games than anyone else, by far. But did you know that you can go back and listen to our broadcast again? Simply go to the Q92 radio page on SoundCloud. We posted the games we broadcast for everyone to go back and relive. We have playlists filled with our high school football broadcasts from 2016 to this season. So go to SoundCloud now, follow Q92 Radio, and listen. And thank you for listening to all of our sports broadcasts of high school football and basketball on the Q92 Sports Network.
Sarchone Auto Group is Ohio's fastest growing automotive group with 6 locations in Northeast Ohio, featuring top brands like Chevy, Ford, Ram, Jeep, Dodge, and more. Experience the fast, friendly, no-pressure approach to car buying that makes Sarchone truly different. Visit Sarchone today or see the selection of thousands of new and used vehicles at sarchone.com. Sarchone Auto Group, an official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
Back a final time from Tom Benson Stadium, where the Jackson Polar Bears have beaten the Canton McKinley Bulldogs by a score of 20-7. Polar Bears go to 6-3 and 4-1. McKinley 6-3 and 5-1. And so the finals on the Federal League will be determined next week, but This is an impressive performance here by Jackson tonight. I had a feeling we might see this from the Polar Bears, and they came in and controlled this game from the very start. McKinley had a brief run in the second quarter with some momentum, but the other 25 minutes of this game completely, or 35 minutes of this game completely belonged to the Polar Bears, and they well deserved this victory tonight. 20-7, and I'm going to go back to Jordan Warmoth, the senior linebacker, as player of the game tonight for the Polar Bears, as he individually did a lot, but it was kind of just a representative performance of what Jackson did here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a all-around dominant game by Jackson tonight. If there's a game in Coach Rohr's early career here that, makes a statement and puts the program where he wants to be, this definitely, the game he can look back on. I know work's not done yet. You got a big game with a rivalry Hoover next week, and it just gives them some computer points. You'll at least get one home game. I don't know if they'll get it in the top 4, but just an overall great job all the way around. Special teams, offensively, defensively, just played really well and smart all night. I think one of the biggest plays of the game was the 4th and 2, 4th 1.5, and they decided to go for it and picked up the first down. That's not Jackson's MO. The get after you a physical type football team, and they can do that. And that's his stamp on this program. And McKinley has to go in. They had a couple opportunities and had that some personal fouls and stuff when they make plays, and they just didn't get field position and just couldn't make the plays tonight. And they gotta who they got next week, and they got to be ready to play. And they play like that, it's going to be a long game.
All right, that is Brian Beatty. My name is Clint Scroggs. Ryan Bevere down on the field getting all his post-game stuff and doing a great job as always. And that'll do it tonight from Tom Benson Stadium, as Jackson with a statement victory here in Week 9 to cost McKinley possibly an outright Federal League championship. Also, thanks to Ryan Rainsberg back at the studios. Our final score again tonight here from Tom Benson Stadium: Jackson 20, McKinley 7. You've been listening to High School Football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.